A cold mechanical voice welcomes him to the plane's survival game, telling him he will live or die on a battlefield of blood and fire, driving his own vehicle. Through every terrifying night to walk the King's Road, he wakes on the grass with no idea how he got here, desk and classmates gone, replaced by endless wilderness. Under a high sun, before he finishes looking around, he spots a thing shuffling. Nearby, rotting skin and twisted limbs, growling like a beast, and his brain stalls on the word zombie just as a light screen blooms and lays out the rules. The plane survival guide tells him everyone gets a random vehicle and a random talent, that berserk monsters flood the plains at night and he should hide inside his vehicle, that the vehicle is unique and once destroyed he is at others' mercy, that players cannot rob each other, that almost everything can be upgraded with resources, that 6 o'clock in the afternoon is the daylight boundary. At the first round of survival is 7 days, with monsters strengthening daily, until a terrifying horde descends at the end, and that this is a real world where death is permanent. His heart sinks as he realizes he has transmigrated into a survival game and that he is not alone. In the screen corner, he finds tabs for regional chat, personal info, exchange, and inventory. Regional population reads 99,983, remaining out of 100,000. Of messages, a massive panic of players bragging about awakening systems, screaming about zombies, begging to know what the beginner's 2-piece set is. Because someone is in nothing but underwear, others snapping at them too. Read the guide because all of this is real. Almost 20 are already eliminated. And a new prompt announces that vehicles are being drawn, according to the guide. The vehicle is the line between living and dying. He tenses up, the draw resolves before he can settle, and the system congratulates him on a dilapidated van. An old rust-eaten van with peeling paint, dented doors, oil-stained chassis and flat tires appears on the grass, and he climbs in and gags on the musty stench, deflated seats, dust-caked dashboard, no air conditioner, no radio. Just complete scrap. The panel reads his van is Tier 1, max speed 60 kilometers per hour, durability 15%, and fuel for 300 kilometers, 0 upgraded. Parts at level 0. Advancement requires 50 gold, 30 parts, 100 steel. Sheets and a level 1 chip locked until modifications reach level 10. Its valuation calls it a veteran with 600,000 kilometers, every screw held together by miraculous balance, guaranteed not to break down so long as he never tries to repair it. His hopes of an SUV collapse, but a big iron shell is still a big iron shell, so he accepts it. Regional chat scrolls with players bragging about armored cars, others grieving hatchbacks, one poor soul wailing he drew a bicycle and being told to run to stronger player. Compared to those, his van is not the worst hand. The next draw is for talents, and the chat tenses with him. 10 seconds pass with nothing, and the channel explodes. Someone boasting a B-rank strength talent with 10-fold amplification. Someone complaining their fire ability is only D rank, another claiming C rank. Combat, the rest noting that no A ranks or higher have been posted because the real winners keep their hands hidden. His chest grows colder until the chime rings, and the system congratulates him on the triple S rank hidden talent daily. His intelligence is marked unique. Every single day he receives one special piece of intel to accept or decline. If he declines, it triggers later that day without him knowing. It claims to be the talent with the absolute highest potential, telling those so-called lucky emperors to step aside. Because their intelligence daddy has arrived, his personal panel lists Genang with Constitution 11 against an adult average of 10 and Spirit 9 against 10. His bound vehicle is a dilapidated van with triple S-rank daily intelligence, marked hidden and unique. Seeing those 3 tags, he almost loses his mind. Because unique means he is the only person in this world with this ability. In a brutal survival game, knowing things first is the ultimate advantage. The system confirms all novice rewards are distributed and tells every single player to begin, adding that a treasure chest spawns randomly near each start. He climbs out, scanning the thick grass, and a notification asks if he wants today's intelligence. He declines because the system announcement already revealed to him chest is and overlapping intel would waste the draw. A minute later, he spots a glowing wooden box 7 or 8 meters from a wandering zombie. Quietly, he creeps over, lifts the lid, and finds gold, 3 parts, 2 leather, and a Glock 17. Pistol with 20 of 40 rounds, durability 100% with no modification. Fitted, it is rated a reliable mid-range sidearm with 60 rounds included. The weight of real steel calms him down. He mimics a classic movie slide pull. The chamber clicks, the zombie hears it and charges. He fires, clipping its shoulder. 3 more rounds sharpen his aim, and the final bullet cracks its forehead at 3 or 4 meters. The system credits him 0.1 gold as he wipes sweat away. He is surprised that killing zombies pays at all, though 10 of them only equals 1 gold. He pats the corpse, finds rot, and moves on. The clock says about 4 hours of daylight remain. Regional chat shows other players cracking starter chests, getting knives, tools, food, and in one absurd case, an M4A1 rifle with infinite ammo. Talk about insane luck. That single pull completely sets the chat on fire, and he swallows his envy, reminding himself his talent will draw him equal. Suddenly, a horrible commotion rolls in. He curses, throws himself in the van, slams the door, ignites, and jams into gear, stomping the pedal. The engine coughs dark smoke as wheels chew grass. 7 or 8 zombies are already slamming against the windows, screaming. The full pressure of a horde hits him for the first time. He shifts up, builds speed, and shakes them off across the flat, finally pulling clear after several kilometers. The doors and hood are dented and bloody, the driver window cracked. Durability dropping from 15 to 14%. A broken window means he becomes canned meat. Next time, a panel offers 2 upgrade options. The shooting port path converts every side and rear window into welded firing ports for 5 gold, 2 parts, and 5 steel sheets. The tempered glass path reinforces everything while keeping the view. For 3 gold, 1 part, with 80% material refund on any reverse. Tempered glass alone is 3 gold, which means 30 zombies he cannot pay for in 60 bullets unless every single shot is a headshot. He has to hunt chests, not zombies. He drives slowly, eyes straining against the monotony. After more than an hour, he finds a small crimson fruit tree and plucks 43 fresh fruits rated common. Plains fruit dense in nutrients. Fine and steady doses will enhance his fitness, but stomach trouble if eaten as a staple. But he bites one anyway, sour and astringent. Just enough to wet his throat. A few hundred meters later, the ground turns soft and mushy. He slams the brakes, sweating cold at the thought of getting stuck out here. Road rescue. He steps into the muddy water to scout on foot, gripping his pistol tight. Today's intelligence offers itself, and this time he accepts. The notification tells him he has reached the outskirts of a swamp where danger and opportunity exist together. Out here, even zombies become prey. About 100 meters southeast, and unusual bronze sheen has appeared, warning him to explore carefully with weapon in hand. He moves in low and slow, mud climbing past his ankles, his soles nearly sucked right off. Winding python tracks crisscross the wet grass, making his scalp tingle with dread. After 100 meters, he reaches the target and finds a wooden chest half buried. Muck inside, 1 gold, 5 python skins, 200 bullets, and an AK-47. Durability is 100%, no modifications, and 30 rounds loaded. Out of 180, plus auto-reload, it is the world's most mass-produced rifle. Beloved by gangs, it takes down any target in a single burst, and only needs another if the first missed. The dagger also has full durability, with no modifications, sharp, easy to hide, and rated for life-or-death sneak attacks. The description tells him not to hesitate, just stab. The python skins can craft sturdy armor, while the universal bullets reload everything except sniper rifles. True hard currency. He slots the dagger and pistol onto his belt and lifts the AK, confidence flooding back. But then the system intel nags about. But get this, that wooden chest cannot be it. He crouches low to watch. Python 7 or 8 meters long and thick, as a bull glides just 5 meters in front of him, making him freeze. Within 10 minutes, he counts at least 5 massive pythons, one well over 15 meters long, big enough that one tight squeeze would grind his bones to dust. After a tense half hour, he notices a flicker of bronze in the mud. A python just slithered past, and the surface is already covering up with silt. He plunges his hands into the muck until he feels a heavy, hard box. The chest breaks the surface clean. The system calls it a bronze treasure chest, the 3rd tier in the order of wooden, black iron, bronze, silver, gold, purple radiance, black diamond. And legendary, it tells him to celebrate, because finding a 3rd tier chest on day 1 is an achievement almost nobody else will ever match. He pops the lid, and a crisp clang echoes as brilliant light spills out. The bronze chest rewards him with a sniper rifle, a rare rated armor core, a stack of universal bullets, and A weapon modification called ballistic correction. He takes the whole haul in and drives the van back to safer ground. The regional chat scrolls past, showing a handful of players stumbling onto second chests. One veteran brags about finding a long knife plus 200 bullets, getting cursed as a lucky player who hogs all the luck. Others are unable to find even one chest. Several players are posting buyout requests for ammunition at any price. Everyone is racing to arm up. He pushes toward his first upgrade. A shooting port path makes perfect sense. Given his new firepower, he sinks the materials and confirms, in a single flash of white light, the cracked, blood-stained windows transform into welded steel sheets, fitted with sliding gates sized for weapons from 20 to 300 millimeters across. 5. Heavy gates line the sides and rear, while the front windshield upgrades into tempered glass. Is a great bonus. His beat-up van actually feels like a mobile bunker with a cool cyberpunk vibe. The control panel shows that the engine, tires, armor, and even a roof machine gun are all completely upgradable. He can even add deluxe massage seats now. Every upgrade counts as a level, with advancement unlocking at level 10. Next, he opens up the trading post. Day 1 is the ultimate goldmine. It is chaotic, with panicked players dumping valuable resources for quick cash. Basic handguns are selling for 3 gold coins, ammo sold separately. Rifles and machine guns are incredibly rare, traded only through private messages. Most absurd is the ammunition, priced at 3 gold per 100 universal rounds. His margins are razor thin, meaning he absolutely must drop each zombie in 3 shots. Death is everywhere. The server population keeps dropping fast. Only 97,000 players remain active out of the initial 100,000, revealing a horrifying death toll. Terrified survivors are urging everyone to blow all their gold on massive firepower. No options. Factions recruit armored vehicles only. One desperate player begs for shelter with only a knife, getting laughed right off. He watches them mock a weak player. Honestly, the desperation here is getting real. Almost everyone is overinvesting in raw firepower right now. That means building materials like steel sheets are sitting at rock-bottom prices. He splits 1,500 of his universal rounds into 15 batches of 100, keeping the rest sold out instantly. His bullet listings clear in just a few minutes. He pockets 45 gold, pushing his total funds to 64.4. Instantly, he reinvests in cheap mechanical parts, knowing they will double in value. If they do not sell, he can use them for his own upcoming upgrades. He snaps up deal after deal, just as a few other players catch on. The window is closing fast. Right before the sun sets, he finishes his spree. Having secured 500 parts, he grabs 30 steel sheets and some rations. The shopping frenzy is over, leaving him with 7.3 gold coins. His packed inventory now holds rifles, daggers, and ammunition. He has hundreds of parts, steel sheets, python skins, and armor cores. Not to mention fresh fruits, bread, and water to keep him going. Prep time. Night is coming, and he must get ready. The sun slowly sinks below the horizon, bathing the landscape in deep shadow. He carefully organizes his weapons, strapping the dagger and handgun to his belt. He mounts the sniper rifle, keeping the Alaska rifle ready in his hands for quick action. Next, he loads 50 rounds into the handgun and 200 into the rifle. This special ballistic modification guarantees perfect aim for him. This unique feature makes top-tier weapon upgrades incredibly expensive, usually starting around 20 gold. Upgrades like recoil dampeners and infinite durability cost more than actual guns. Super silencers are priced so high they are practically out of reach. Legendary items like infinite ammunition are not even listed on the exchange. Nobody would trade a cheat code like that for anything less than equal value. As night falls, a bright moon rises and lights up the starry sky. A gentle breeze rustles the grass, making it feel peaceful and calm. But the illusion fades as the clock strikes 6 and the monsters awaken. A scrolling announcement warns weak rabbits to hide because night is falling. And the monsters are hunting. In seconds, the chat goes silent. Players shout for teammates and post coordinates. A guy named Lai Jongguk shares his location, welcoming anyone who cannot survive the night alone. He says 20 people have gathered, demanding only unity and obedience. The chat explodes in absolute awe of this powerful and famous group leader. Others whisper that another leader is currently recruiting in the mining area. For Genang, the legendary player with the infinite rifle ammo. But he stays completely silent. He has zero interest in teaming up. Groups always fall apart the second resources are not divided evenly. And this is not Blue Star, there are no laws here. Only morality which never lasts, so he posts a blunt warning. He tells everyone to stay put, kill their engines, and lie flat. Do not shoot unless you have over 200 rounds in reserve. Zombies are highly sensitive to sound. His warning rattles the chat. Players who are ready to move call it a splash of cold water. Some ask if it is really that deadly, confirming zombies came fast. Others remind the group that Lai Jongguk is only a last resort. Suddenly the cries change to sheer panic. Someone screams that they are here. A creeping crimson mist spreads. Terrifying figures rise and begin howling. These night zombies are nothing like the sluggish creatures from the day. Under the red mist, they go completely berserk, sprinting in waves. He watches through the window. There are far more than before. They are incredibly fast and strong. Soon, panic gunfire rings out. The frantic shooting does not stop. He climbs to the back and grabs his sniper. Scanning 2 kilometers out, he sees an old man's mobility scooter completely surrounded. The owner fires wildly while desperately trying to start the engine. Glass shatters, grotesque shapes squeeze through, and his gunfire suddenly stops. He is instantly torn apart. Watching this grim scene makes him frown. The online survivor count drops rapidly, and the channel is flooded. Players scream for help, boasting about how they barely escaped alive. Veterans yell to drive away. One quiet voice asks a question. How insane will the 7-day horde be if this chaos is just a normal night? Then a paid rescue request catches his eye. A player offers gold. He is offering a super silencer modification for anyone who saves him, while others argue that melee weapons are safer for silent kills. Someone snaps back that getting close to a zombie is instant death. He sits up instantly. A super silencer is an incredibly valuable piece of gear. There's only one currently listed on the exchange, priced at 30 gold. He immediately private messages the seller, saying he will take the job if close. He answers instantly, pinging his location at just 7 kilometers. He asks how long. The seller, Idaho Huang, says his windows are upgraded but his vehicle body is far too thin, and he is currently surrounded by a dozen zombies. He tells the man to wait, fires the engine, and rolls out with a puff of black smoke. Nearby zombies hear the loud engine and begin trailing right behind him. Clinging to his rear bumper, the flat terrain lets the van push over 40 kilometers an hour. Just fast enough to avoid being surrounded, he cuts through the night, dragging them along. Some claw at the doors, others climb the roof, or lunge straight into the grill with sickening impacts that threaten to pin bodies under his chassis and jam the van in place. He had not planned to drive at night or upgrade tougher configurations, but that clearly has to change. So yeah, he pulls up the upgrade menu and prioritizes tires and chassis. The tire menu offers 4 routes, all-terrain, balancing road and off-road for 2 gold and 1 leather, mud terrain for extreme, off-road at 5 gold and 2 leather, snow tires for ice and snow at the same cost, and high-performance run flats holding 100 kilometers an hour, even deflate. For 10 gold and 5 leather, more are locked behind advancement, all stored in the system trunk for free swapping. He buys all-terrain, a flash of white light, replaces his 4 deflated tires with huge, thick-treaded all-terrains, and the van's road feel instantly stabilizes. The chassis options give him an off-road primary for 5 gold and 5 parts with independent 4-wheel suspension, or performance primary for 10 gold and 10 parts built for speed and stability. With air suspension wanting engine and transmission upgrades, he takes off-road. Another chime, the whole chassis lifts noticeably, the ride going solid under him. The engine roars and the 4 wheels chew the wilderness joyfully. This broken van drives like an actual off-roader. Durability climbs from 14% before the window upgrade to 19% after, and now 35% with tires and chassis. He pushes to its 60-kilometer limit, leaving the zombies behind. To go faster, he would need engine and transmission, which he cannot afford with less than 1 gold. Across the plains, other vehicles flee with their own ribbons of zombies. Driving to escape is now everyone's last resort. Vehicle defense is going to be paramount. Thank goodness he stockpiled those parts. After half an hour, he closes on his destination, pulling into a hidden spot to glass with his scope, a black sedan. Chassis at a sick angle, wheels jammed with bloody corpses, completely stuck. Dozen zombies claw the doors while inside Juong is half out of his mind. As he closes within a kilometer, the radio frequency syncs automatically, and the second the channel opens, he is wailing. He tells him he wants the reward first and opens a trade. Juong does not argue terms because he has no leverage, even if the driver violated. All Juong could do is curse him in chat before dying, and nobody would read it. The trade drops a super silencer, plus 2.1 gold into his inventory. The description calls it a firearm modification that fully kills muzzle. Flash drops gun noise to a minimum, reduces recoil, and improves handling. Permanently bound once installed. A good horse deserves a good saddle, so his AK and pistol are not worthy, and he installs it on the sniper. White light flares along the muzzle and a matte textured silencer settles in. He climbs into the back, opens the firing port, slides the barrel and scope out, chambers around. With a soft click, sights in and squeezes. What had been a fierce roar becomes a crisp, elegant whistle. The bullets slide more than 1,000 meters into a zombie's head. The skull bursts like a watermelon across the sedan windows, stable exactly where he aims. Most credit goes to ballistic correction plus the silencer stability. He fires again, the crosshair marking. He lives for the loot, occasionally piercing through multiple overlapping zombies. With one round, notifications roll in, each headshot netting 1/10 of a gold. With some yielding leather, curled with his head in his hands, Huang lifts his face, watching zombies get headshotted one after another from somewhere deep in the dark, and bursts into tears, praising the boss, fearing he would run with the payment. In under a minute, he picks off every zombie nearby, drawing no new ones. Thanks to the silencer, he radios that it is handled, telling him he can clear the bodies from under his car himself because he is leaving. Huang pours out endless gratitude, calling him brother and asking to be his subordinate with his C-grade support talent, but he refuses, stating he does not take subordinates. The job cost 20 rounds and nearly 10 kilometers of fuel, netting 3.6 gold plus. The silencer a massive profit. He parks, eats 2 pieces of bread and washes them down. With cola, he checks sniper bullets on the exchange and finds them incredibly cheap, most going for 1.5 gold per 100, with few snipers around. Players trade unwanted rounds for universal currency. He buys 200 rounds and loads them all. Suddenly rich in ammunition, he continues posting that he is accepting paid commissions, and over the next few hours, he rescues trapped players in rapid succession. Early game is perfect for reputation, so he does not overcharge, just small fees. Some offer a coin, others food or materials, all along his path. Since he has to kill zombies anyway, but things are about to get absolutely ridiculous. An outrageous guy named Wang Guang, surrounded by zombies, refuses to pay a single coin, demanding a free rescue on righteous moral grounds. He tells him he is an absolute idiot and moves on. The guy completely loses it, posting a massive denunciation calling him out by name, claiming he promised to help everyone, but passed him over, demanding money and abusing him while ignoring human life. He calls him trash, unfit to be human. Naturally, the chat channel completely ignites. But nobody is that stupid. The first response calls him out for leeching and having the nerve to complain publicly, labeling him a giant baby raised on coddled expectations that everyone owes him. The players rescued earlier go the hardest, snarling that risking your life for complete strangers deserves a fee. If people like him scare off the powerhouses, everyone gets torn apart alive, saying they would gladly shoot him on sight. He tries to bite back but gets buried in contempt. Blocked so many times his ID flips to the red public enemy tag. Meanwhile, he keeps taking orders. Along the road, between 7 and 12, he covers hundreds of kilometers and burns almost all 200 fresh bullets, just as he finishes his final order. Notification rings, congratulating him on earning the White Tier Ranger title, which grants Constitution +3 and Spirit +3, along with an additional 20% kill gold bonus that accumulates for withdrawal anytime. The system evaluation says the bearer does the deed, brushes his clothes, and walks away. Awarded for 10 rescues within a time limit, he equips it instantly. Strength, stamina, perception, and clarity all sharpen at once. This kill gold bonus is rare, meaning huge long-term benefits. His balance now sits at 21.5 gold. His weapons include the modified level 2 sniper, a rifle, a pistol, a short dagger, and 450 universal rounds. For tools, a pickaxe and cleaver. Materials: 589 parts, 33 steel sheets, 12 python skins, 15 leather, 1 rare core. He gathers 42 fresh fruits, 8 breads, 2 colas, and 5 sausages. Plus 5 instant cup noodles. Quite a haul as deep, dark night settles in. Most players survive their own way. The area count stabilizes at 93,000. Market prices have totally shifted. Food and water dropped by 30%, but steel sheets and parts skyrocketed. Components now fetch half a gold piece. Guns and ammo are creeping up. Gasoline doubled to 6 gold per unit. Fuel is the ultimate currency. Without it, you cannot scavenge or escape. Genang. Buy some backup fuel, food, and 400 sniper rounds. His gold is practically empty again. He saves the spare parts for his own vehicle upgrades. As early morning arrives, the tension drops. Leaning back, he browses the chat. People are crying. Durability is down to 7%. They need repairs. Veterans warn that upgrades need rare golden parts, lamenting they did not buy up when they were cheap. Hordes are coming, they warn. Stockpile fast. Someone asks if anyone has explored at night, but who would dare? One tiny scratch means death without antiviral serum, which currently costs a fortune. A staggering 100 gold per shot. Suddenly, a strange offer pops up. Someone is selling sunshine broccoli for parts to boost physical stats. Others instantly snap back. Nobody trades vital parts for food anymore, especially with free fruit around, but Genang's eyes light up. He immediately messages the seller. Idaho vegetable pig, quite a handle. Most users just use their real names. The seller responds instantly, sharing the item details. Sunshine broccoli is a high-grade magical vegetable. A unique specialty native to the starry sky forest, nurtured by ample rain and sun, sweet and crisp. Eating it permanently boosts physical stats by 0.1 points. Direct stat boosts are insanely rare. Normal fruit takes weeks to show any real effect, making this invaluable. Before he can even reply, Vegetable Pig sends a flurry of messages. Desperate to trade, 1 part per plant or even 2 if pressed. Listing other high-grade items like winter melon and eggplant with special buffs. He asks where they managed to harvest such bizarre crops. The seller claims it is a trade secret, but offers a sweet deal if he buys. Checking the global exchange, he discovers these exotic vegetables cannot be traded publicly. It is a total monopoly, explaining the public marketing. They bargain quickly, settling on 5 mechanical parts for 7 sunshine broccolis and some bonus veggies. The seller makes him swear to secrecy before dropping a massive bombshell. Every single one of these rare vegetables was grown personally. That is their unique awakening talent. Genang asks if they are serious. Absolutely serious. They add each other as friends, he pulls out a broccoli palm-sized and fresh. Taking a bite, his eyes go wide. It is sweet and juicy. Eating 5 plants, a warm feeling spreads. Inside him, his physical stats are rising. The system panel flickers. His name is Genang, Ranger class, with bonus physical attributes. Physique climbs to 14.5, well above the average male score. Spirit is 12, and his accumulated kill bonus is 0. His modified minivan is level 3, with SSS daily intelligence talent. Its rank is hidden and unique. He closes the panel, highly satisfied, thinking if his physique keeps climbing, he might try cold weapons later, from what he sees. Most players have 4 upgrade paths. The first is the vehicle path, dumping resources into gold and parts to push their car up tiers fast, aiming at second tier vehicles. The second is personal attributes, prioritizing constitution over spirit. This is the most fundamental physical evolution route, though. Everyone remains cautious about close quarters knife work without a strong foundation. The third is the weapon path, yielding fast and safe results, but durability means weapons need reinvestment. His sniper is already losing 8% in one night, so without infinite durability, weapons may not stay top tier. The fourth is hoarding supplies, the simplest and lowest risk. Finding a hole to hide in, but offering terrible late-game survival since nothing keeps up with rising monster strength. Each path has pros and cons. The survival guide recommends developing comprehensively, leaving nothing ignored, ideally a small group. Splits the 4 roles, each specializing, but that requires absolute trust because one betrayal collapses everything, which is exactly why he refuses to team up. Luckily, he has daily intelligence and only needs to stabilize early. He drifts off in the stiff driver's seat, exhausted. It is an incredibly uncomfortable night. Zombies wander up to scratch the door and howl. jolting him awake repeatedly. At dawn, the rising sun shines on crystal-clear dew clinging to grass blades, birds. Chirping on the roof, a weather report scrolls across his view, calling today. Cloudy turning clear, 15 to 28 degrees Celsius, favoring the white-scaled fish of Sunken Moon Lake, a good day for fishing. He draws a deep breath of cool morning air and stretches, his back twinges, telling himself he really needs to upgrade the van soon, at minimum adding a bed. He eats breakfast, 3 large loaves, 2 hot dogs, 2 fresh fruits, a sunshine broccoli, 2 cucumbers, and a large bottle of water. All of it only fills him halfway since appetite scales with constitution. He wishes out loud for hot pot, but starch sausages are the only savory option. Day 2 begins. Survival pressure has every player even more wound up, with many moving before dawn. In under 10 minutes, he spots a wooden chest in a small basin. He hops out, cracks it open, and pulls out 2 gold, 400 universal bullets, and 1 unit of fuel, a pure resource chest. Worth over 15 gold, pretty great start, right? With upgraded tires and chassis, the van's effective speed is nearly doubled, his eyesight sharpened by added spirit, making his search rate markedly higher. He does not find another chest for hours, though. He kills around 20 zombies for 2 gold. He even spots a wild deer, taking it down with his sniper. He bleeds and skins it for 1 deer hide and 10 units of fresh venison. Without fire or cookware, he cannot eat the venison, and fresh meat cannot be listed on the exchange. Only modern foods like noodles and ham trade, so he bags it for storage. The backpack has no time flow, so food never spoils. As noon approaches, he chews on some fresh vegetables while driving. Then the familiar voice chimes in his head with today's intelligence. He accepts, and it reads that to his southwest lies a low vine forest, with vines suitable for armor and tools. Like axes for gathering, however, fierce beasts and venomous insects appear, often warning him to be extremely careful. There is also a note about an unusual metallic. A strange metallic sheen has started appearing over the last few days. He opens the right firing port, spots a dense vine forest, and drives right over. He gears up, securing a pistol and dagger, holding his blade, sniper slung behind him. This place is bound to hide something massive, maybe an adult blood python. He slips inside in complete silence. These gnarled vines definitely never grew on Blue Star. They wind everywhere, so tough his dagger barely leaves a scratch. Ideal armor material. If only he had the tools. Suddenly, something rustles, a massive 70-centimeter centipede. It is as thick as his wrist. A chill shoots straight up his spine, but he does not dare shoot here. Instead, he drives his dagger through its head, splashing colored goo. The system confirms a venomous centipede kill, rewarding him 0.2 gold. He also gets +1 venom, much better loot than zombies. Suddenly, insects swarm. Giant crawlers and blue scorpions creep closer. His silencer handles them. He picks them off silently, avoiding larger threats. After 30 minutes, he freezes. 2 pitch-black boxes rest hidden deep within a thick mass of winding vines. Their metallic surfaces shimmer under the sunlight. 2 chests. His heart begins to race. He tries pushing forward, but the thick vines barely budge just 1 meter away. He resorts to his dagger. 10 minutes of grueling sawing only clears a tiny space. Giving up, he uses valuable sniper rounds to blast the thick barrier out of existence. Reaching the chests, the system identifies them as black iron, a tier above wooden. He pops open the first chest with a loud clang. A bright flash follows. He gets 9 gold coins, 20 dwarf vines, and 1,000 universal bullets. A melee mod called Super Edge Sharpening, and a firearm upgrade. This upgrade is called Infinite Bullets. He freezes in place, completely stunned. Absolute joy hits him. Infinite Bullets is the ultimate early game cheat. Details appear. Super Edge Sharpening is the absolute peak of melee modifications. It is permanently bound, while Infinite Bullets expands any firearm magazine indefinitely. Reload time is cut to just 3 seconds. That makes 2 permanent mods. 2 permanent core upgrades in 1 chest. Infinite Bullets is incredibly rare. Its value is immense. He pops the second chest, getting 12 gold and 24 dwarf vines, 1,300 bullets, dwarf armor, and 6 C-grade talent shards. He also gets a B-grade talent shard. The dwarf vine armor is woven from tough core strands, easily blocking light bullets and sword slashes. It self-repairs in water. Those talent shards are interesting. 10 C-grades synthesize 1 random C-grade talent, and 10 B-grades yield 1 B-grade talent. He assumed everyone had just one innate talent, but apparently players can actually stack multiple. The power limit for everyone just shattered. However, shard drops are not guaranteed. Only black iron chests and above seem to hold them, with pretty low odds. Finding these B-grade chests is incredibly tough, so he quickly packs away his legendary new loot. He pockets the shards, slips on the lightweight dwarf vine armor, and braces himself. It is basic common-grade gear, but it still blocks bullets. It self-repairs, weighs barely 3 pounds, and never restricts his movement. Now it is time to get out. A heavy, dangerous scent hangs nearby. Mucus-smeared vines block his path as swarms of insects begin closing in on him. His sniper rifle is too slow now. Abandoning stealth, he readies his assault rifle. Firing in 3-round bursts, he backs away. One bite without serum means instant death. Instant death, gunfire roars and a terrifying rustling answers. Then comes a crisp clattering of joints in the distance. A giant terror centipede is on the move. He shoves his weapons into his pack and sprints. The terrifying chase pushes him. Through thick vines he crawls under and leaps over at top speed. They slow it. Just enough, within minutes he breaks out, reaches the van and slams. The door ignites the engine and hits the gas. Exhaust coughs as the van lurches forward. And only then does he see what was chasing him. A giant terror centipede, easily a meter thick, hundreds of segmented legs, its black armor glinting in the sunlight. The front half alone is tens of meters long, with even more still in the trees. The system profile names it an elite monster, a massive arthropod nesting in the dwarf vine forest, not venomous like its smaller kin, but it is ferociously territorial, capable of cutting a human in half with its razor-sharp pincers. He had thought the blood python was elite, but this is a true monster. Outside the forest, it catches the van in 10 seconds flat. Its massive body rears onto the roof, hammering the metal. Dents appear everywhere, then its pincers bite the door and durability drops by 5%. The heavy mass slows him down and the van drifts. Right then, a system upgrade screen flashes before him. Vehicle Armor Route 1, replacing the frame with 8mm bulletproof alloy. Cost 10 gold and steel sheets. He upgrades instantly. Blinding white light erupts. The creature's severed pincers clang onto the cabin floor as the glow fades. Every single dent is gone, the exterior reborn as thick riveted steel. Centipede screams in agony, blue blood pouring from its newly ruined face. Its antennae thrash wildly. It throws itself at the van, but this upgraded armor is on a completely different tier. It cannot scratch him. He empties a full AK magazine into its writhing body. The carapace dimples but holds, except for hits piercing between segments. He searches the system exchange for heavy machine guns, Maxim. The classic German models to the heavy Gatling M134, prices are down. Because these heavy weapons burn ammo at dozens of rounds a second, 3 gold. Vaporizes in 2 seconds. He would have to clear a whole city of zombies to break even. But none of that matters with infinite ammo. He finds a Gatling at 99% durability and purchases it instantly, a pitch-black, 6-barreled heavy weapon materializes, dragging his shoulder down with its massive weight of tens of pounds. It is the system's definition of pure, unadulterated firepower made flesh. A multi-barrel monster driven by an electric motor. It fires over 5,000 rounds. Every minute, a mechanical Grim Reaper that turns carbon-based life into ash. He applies his infinite bullet perk immediately, since these heavy weapons are entirely belt-fed. There is absolutely no reload gap. He can hold the trigger until the barrel melts. He rolls the side window open and thrusts the barrels out. The massive centipede lunges. Opening its disgusting, pus-leaking mouth to bite, he squeezes the trigger, a faint electric whine builds as the barrels spin up. Then a hellish wall of fire erupts over 60 rounds a second, pouring directly into its mouth, shredding its flesh in a single heartbeat. It shrieks, arching backward as it hits the ground, thrashing. He keeps the trigger held down and sweeps the fire across its body, punching through armor and tearing flesh until its survival instinct kicks in and it drags its mangled length. Aims toward the forest, refusing to let it escape. He hoists the heavy Gatling. He pursues, sweeping fire for a full minute until the massive shadow finally stops. The barrels glow red as they spin down. The system confirms the kill. He gets gold, a giant pincer, and regional first kill. Congratulations. That includes a 10 gold bonus. He sags back, gasping, the brutal recoil leaving him breathless. 12 gold from this first kill alone, plus those incredibly tough centipede pincers. The system describes them as special materials, perfect for crafting growth equipment. This gear actually evolves, but the trading market is currently empty. That makes sense since he just claimed the first kill. Meanwhile, his gun barrels are smoking. They are still red hot. If he does not let them cool, durability drops fast. That single burst costs 3% durability. He needs infinite durability as soon as possible. He also needs rapid barrel cooling. It is already 4 p.m., only 2 hours till dark. Darkness is coming. Checking his inventory, he has 19 gold, 6 weapons, and a sniper rifle. Specifically a modified second-tier sniper, a first-tier heavy machine gun, and a rifle. A pistol, a dagger, 3,000 bullets, and simple vine armor. Tools include an iron pickaxe and a machete, plus some parts. He also has steel sheets, 12 python skins, a deer hide, and dwarf vines. Add some venom, a giant pincer, a rare armor core, fuel, and 40 fruits. His food stash includes 5 loaves of bread, mineral water, sausages, and cup noodles. 1 aquatic eggplant and several talent fragments complete his loaded inventory. The bag is bloated since each category caps at 10 slots. He rearranges his storage. He moves the deer hide and long-lasting food to the trunk, then sells the skins. Selling python skins and vines at market rate brings in about 10 gold. He also lists 2,500 bullets. Players are buying like crazy during this prep phase. His bullets and scrap sell instantly, sending his gold skyrocketing. He easily pushes past 100 gold. A rich man does not shortchange himself on upgrades. Breathable fabric seats cost 3 gold, 2 parts, and 2 pieces of leather. Imitation leather is 5 gold, 2 parts, and 3 pieces of leather. He chooses imitation leather because he is constantly muddy, and fabric would stink. White light flashes. All 5 seats are reborn, feeling incredibly soft and cool. The musty smell is gone. Next is the engine, a smooth, naturally aspirated option. That costs 7 gold with the gearbox included, or he can go turbocharged. The turbo offers a strong low-rev punch for 10 gold. He picks the turbo. White light flares under the hood. The engine and gearbox both refresh instantly. He turns the key and shifts into gear. A powerful vibration shudders through the van. It leaps forward, pressing him into the seat. The panel now reads Tier 1. Top speed is 120 km per hour, with fuel at 0.2. 50-kilometer range, fuel critical. Upgraded parts include the shooting bay. Tires, chassis, armor, seats, and engine hit level 6 total, advancing further. Requires 50 gold, 20 parts, 100 steel sheets, and a chip. It only unlocks when every component reaches level 10. The evaluation calls this vehicle a Grand Pas tier veteran, restored to normal, but the turbo burns more fuel. 1 unit gets him only 250 kilometers, so he uses both stored units. To push his range to 550, he searches the market for a chip. Finding only a few, he haggles with the sellers and successfully locks one down. At 11:08, he focuses on his daily routine, grabbing 20 slices of high-grade Black Mountain toast, 10 cheese sandwiches, and 10 each of puff pastry, crispy sausage, and custard. Buns for breakfast for the week, plus hot food, rugo, and doggy meat fire-baked buns. Cantonese dim sum, roasted duck, braised goose, cumin chicken racks, and various snacks. He packs konjac jelly, spicy strips, tiger skin chicken feet, potato chips, nuts, and spicy. Dried fish, 2 cases of cola with 24 bottles, and 5 cases of bottled water with 12 bottles each, plus 2 changes of clothes and tissues, costing 12.5 gold. His trunk is finally stuffed with real food. Night is less than an hour away. 2. He drives up to a high spot, pulls the brake, and opens chat, which is filled with the usual prep talk like a rare rifle for 5 gold, and Battlefield Alliance still recruiting at Sunken Moon Lake with strict requirements, a Black Mountain mechanic charging 2 gold, but over in Twilight Canyon, a heckler scoffed. He claims his side charges only 1. The Black Mountain man explodes, asking if anyone has ever heard of the infamous Ghost Dragon Society operating in the Black Mountain mining area, and threatens to handle him in person, but Twilight Canyon fires back with absolute ease, stating they obviously know Jiangdong's Ghost Dragon Society. Their reputation is completely filthy lately, boasting that their heavy is Lai Zhongguk, president of the Mountain and Sea Alliance, daring them to come. The Black Mountain side jeers that the Mountain and Sea Alliance is just a pile of old, weak, and sick, and only Lai Zhongguk can actually fight. Most onlookers side with Lai Zhongguk. He acts honorably, taking in many struggling refugees. Unlike the warlords of Ghost Dragon, suddenly both sides go Silent, it turns out they hit their daily 10-message cap and got muted. He has heard some rumors about both men. Jang Dongj pulled the Infinite Bullets M401, leading Ghost Dragon Society despite a terrible reputation. Lee Jongguk has a military background and drew a tank at the start, becoming the first to build a team and mutual aid alliance. From the chat, he maps the big areas: Black Mountain Mining Area, Starry Sky Great Forest, and Twilight Canyon, Sunken Moon Lake, plus smaller swamps and vine forests. If only he had map. His mailbox shows 21 notifications, and he opens a message from Vegetable Pig with the same line every hour or two, asking if the big boss is there, saying, "Brother, please reply, she has new dishes." It's repeated from 11 in the morning to almost 6 in the evening. As he reads, another inquiry pops up. He replies with a single letter, and at the same time, hundreds of kilometers away on the edge of the Starry Sky Great Forest, by a small pond ringed with dense trees, a tiny chopped fish head vehicle sits parked in the shade. The young girl has twin ponytails and round frame glasses, pant legs rolled high, walking barefoot in the mud, pouring water onto a rose, crouching with a small shovel to fertilize, while a few heads of sunshine broccoli sprout under her talent, which she harvests, washes in baskets, sighing because it is almost dark and she doesn't know what to do with her lingium cabbage. Jin's son is genuinely at a complete loss. The cabbage in her basket shines clear as emerald glass, and she totally regrets pouring most of her energy into it today, having hoped for a small fortune, but now she cannot sell it. Her 10 daily messages are spent, all buried in the chat wall, and her only major client has not replied since morning. She doesn't dare trade offline, because untradeable items can be easily plundered. A hard lesson she learned. She opens her messages, dejectedly trying to send Jai Jiang one more only. She eagerly waits to see his single reply, nearly jumping when it finally arrives. He asks why she sent so many messages, and she boasts about having amazing goods. He looks at the Ling cabbage. The system displays this rare starry sky vegetable. It grew from uncommon seedlings in a great forest under special cultivation. It was nourished with heavy natural fertilizers rich in spiritual energy and nutrients. Eating it grants +3 constitution, with a daily limit of 1. It also gives a 7-day bonus to stamina. He hesitates before asking her price. Since it is her first time growing this expensive crop, she tentatively asks for an offer. He counters by offering 2 gold coins, plus 5 pieces of sunshine broccoli as a gift. She fires back that this is daylight robbery, fuming that 2 gold is a joke. That amount does not even cover half her costs, and now he wants free broccoli too. She sarcastically wonders why she does not just ship herself to him, typing furiously. She claims her raw cost was 5 gold for a whole day of cultivation. He demands proof. She quickly sends over her transactions for advanced fertilizer and rare soil. Her logs show spiritual water and rare soil costing 5.2 gold. Knowing the cost, he tells her to name her price. She nervously stammers a figure. She asks for 6, then drops to 5.5, feeling incredibly pathetic. She is terrified he will walk away. Without this sale, she cannot upgrade her defenses. She needs funds to secure her chopped fish head van tonight. Surprisingly, he offers 8 gold. He has one condition. She must supply him 1 lingyun cabbage and 5 broccoli daily. She nearly jumps with joy at the 8 gold, but then her face freezes. Growing such rare plants drains her energy, but the money is simply too good. After taking a deep breath, she grits her teeth and accepts the deal. The trade window opens, valuing each broccoli at 0.7 gold. He drops 11.5 gold inside. The trade finishes, updating his van. He cannot help grinning at the emerald cabbage, which grants 3 points of physique. Eating this regularly means becoming a literal god in the flesh is no fantasy. He is relieved that Vegetable Pig did not sell it to someone else. 8 gold is actually a bargain. He could have bargained but chose not to. Pressuring her would stop her from bringing him rare items. She is the perfect partner. Keeping her as a private supplier is key to leaving other survivors in the dust. Boosting his personal attributes depends on players like her. He cracks open a cola. He digs into a dinner of savory donkey meat pastry and roast duck. Bites of cabbage cut the grease, sending a warm energy through his body. The cabbage's spiritual energy strengthens his frame at a visible rate. He finishes the cabbage, polishes off all 5 broccoli as dessert, and slumps back. After a deep, satisfied belch, he clenches his fist to check his new strength. Solid muscle outlines his forearm. The status panel displays his active ranger title. His title grants physique +3, spirit +3, and a 20% kill bonus. With 12 spirit, his withdrawable gold reaches 0.62. His modified van is level 6, while his unique talent is daily intelligence. A physique of 18 is nearly double a normal adult. He reaches for another snack. But wait, the radio suddenly crackles with an unknown voice. Is he in danger? He grabs his sniper rifle and cracks open the firing port, spotting 3 vehicles. They form a tight triangle of 3 vehicles, surrounded by 5 or 6 mysterious men. Women shift sandbags and metal baffles, building rough fortifications. Their leader, a young man with a radio mic, peers through binoculars at his van. When he sees the port crack open, he smiles and waves. He asks what they want. He introduces himself as Joe Soryong, points out their flag, and explains their setup. They are from the Mountain and Sea Alliance, building defenses for the night. He says our main character looks capable with his upgraded external armor, asking him to join. He promises that banding together is the only way to make it through the night. He proudly brags they have 5 firearms and 1,200 rounds of ammo. Aside from 1 basic car, their other 2 vehicles have upgraded armor plates. Our guy asks why Mountain and Sea Alliance members are inside Twilight Canyon. Joe Soryong does not hide it, explaining they spent the day mining valuable iron ore. They also grabbed elemental ore, which is completely untradeable on the global exchange. Since players cannot transfer these items, they have to haul them by hand. Back at base, skilled members refine the haul into steel sheets and parts. This operation only started today, and it completely blows our protagonist's mind. These organized players are already running full industrial supply chains under Lee Jong-guk. With over 600 members, their alliance runs like a well-oiled machine. 3 of Joe's teammates actually lost their vehicles during the previous night. Now they live inside the remaining cars, which explains the heavily upgraded armor. It turns out Lee Jong-guk has a real military combat background. His defenses are crude, but surprisingly meticulous. Fighting outside allows them to snipe monsters before they can damage vehicle durability. Their plan is to hold the high ground first, then retreat inside later. Joe asks if he wants in, suggesting they cooperate, but our guy flatly refuses. Absolutely no sharing. The fat guy next to Joe tells him to drop it. He tells Joe to drop it, saying our guy will come begging when he gets overrun. Joe sighs and warns him that backup will cost him later, but our MC fires back. The group bursts out laughing, 6 heavily armed players versus 1 guy in a van. It is obvious who they think needs help, but then the night rolls in. A thick mist rolls in, and the fat man jumps up grinning. He steps onto a sandbag and fires his rifle straight into the sky. He brags about how thirsty his gun is, but a woman snaps at him. He shrugs it off, but a second later, every face goes pale. Out of the spreading mist emerge massive, bloated monsters, far worse than ordinary zombies. They are over 2 meters tall, covered in tumors with bloated bellies. A terrifying new type, Joe barks orders to hold the line. The protagonist peers through his scope, scanning the closest incoming monster. The system labels it a fleshball zombie, a tanky, heavy-hitting special variant. Its defense is insanely high, though its movement speed is quite slow. If special variants are appearing on night 2, the game difficulty is spiking fast. He racks his rifle, lines up the target, and fires. The bullet flies over 1,000 meters, shattering the monster's skull instantly. The massive 800 caddy body collapses. The system rings with a kill confirmation. The payout matches a swamp blood python, basically a boss tier reward. Our hero is going to make an absolute fortune tonight. But they are slow. Ordinary zombies have already swarmed his van and started. Battering, their attacks only tickle the armor. Only a giant elite like the Terra Centipede could bite through with pincers, but the massive herd blocks his. Firing line, he switches ports and begins clearing, then glances toward Joe Soryong and his. Eyes go wide, their position is a tightening ring, and their safe distance is shrinking because loud gunfire pulled in every nearby zombie. They can grind ordinary zombies easily, but fleshballs just eat body shots. Only Joe Soryong has. The ballistic correction needed for headshots, 2 rounds each, is just not enough. When a massive fleshball slams in with its bloated belly, their line collapses. Joe Soryong screams for them to get in the cars. They scramble back, armored truck and SUV hold, but the fragile scooter takes the worst of it. 2 girls scream as a fleshball hammers their ride into a twisted shell. They abandon their cover, bolting toward the truck. An SUV for safety. In this world, every vehicle is a survivor's absolute territory, meaning others can only abandon their own rides, get permission to board, and bind to another vehicle as subordinates. This dependency is permanent, preventing any betrayal. Even the gold they earn must be spent on the owner's vehicle. Talk about a miserable fate. Meanwhile, he keeps firing his sniper rounds, slicing the mist to claim head after head. In under 10 minutes, nearly 10 fleshballs are down, earning him 5 gold. The horde on his side begins to thin with the rest out of range, but he is in no rush to leave, as a job is sitting right next to him. In the distant truck, Joe Soryong and his 2 dependents are pale and sweating. Terrifying impacts pound outside. The armored vehicle bucks like a cheap coin-operated ride, and its armor durability is dropping 1% every 2 minutes. Since they upgraded to tempered glass instead of installing firing ports, they can barely shoot back. This whole vehicle will fall apart within 2 hours. The fat man complains that he feels like canned meat, while Joe Soryong says they can only call for help. Even with their engine running, they risk getting stuck. He thinks of him, assuming he is in the same mess. He pulls out binoculars, peers through the gaps, and freezes. There are no zombies around him at all, only a pile of corpses. The fat man gasps, "How is this possible?" Joe Soryong tells him bitterly not to bother. The guy has a high-grade sniper rifle and a silent suppressor. He admits he underestimated him. Recalling his parting words, he feels shame. Sincerity does not matter, and this is not the time to haggle. He confers with the SUV, offering the maximum 13 gold plus a melee weapon modification labeled lightweight. Then he offers him the deal, hoping he can lure the horde away. He simply replies, "Accepted." Joe Soryong exhales and opens the trade, sending 13 gold and the modification. Lightweight. Usable on all melee weapons, reduces main body weight by 2/3 after application. Permanently bound, a great deal, especially for heavy melee weapons. Joe Soryong tells him he does not need to take massive risks, just driving a loop to lure them away is the safest method, trusting he has a plan, but he does not intend to run. That is too much trouble. Why run when he can shoot them all? He brings up the vehicle upgrade menu. The sunroof has 2 paths, a basic lookout with a retractable steel gate, letting 1 person peer out, costing 5 gold, 2 parts and 5 steel sheets, or a machine gun mount option. This detachable mount accepts all kinds of heavy machine guns for 7 gold, 5 parts and 5 steel sheets. He picks the mount and the roof glows. The metal plate retracts as a ladder unfolds. He climbs up, holding the loaded pistol, pointing it skyward. 3 shots ring out and Joe's side goes dead silent. Those echoes roll across the high ground, making nearby zombie heads snap directly to him. Even the 100+ monsters pressing Joe freeze and turn. He fires 3 more, sending the entire horde charging toward his van. Joe and his crew are stunned. How does he dare shoot when gunfire is louder than engines? They only dared shoot because they had actual firepower. Right now, the zombies surrounding the truck recede like a tide. The path clears and suffocating pressure lifts. The fat man screams at them to run, but Joe tells him to wait. Everything depends on whether he can draw the horde away, but he is not driving. Joe suddenly sees him leaning his entire body out of the sunroof, sniper steady, dropping the closest enemies one by one, ignoring the massive flood. Joe grabs a megaphone, shouting that he is about to be surrounded, but he keeps picking them off, then drops the rifle, pulling out a long dark weapon and mounting it on the roof bracket. The moment Joe's eyes register the weapon, his pupils shrink. When the fat man takes the binoculars, he nearly jumps, swearing it is a Gatling. Honestly, who can blame him? Already locked it in place, 6 barrels spin up to preheat, then they spew flame as a river of bullets pours out, sweeping the silhouettes. Over 200 regular zombies and at least 15 massive flesh balls, an assault to shake any team, but against his infinite ammo Gatling, they are just walking gold. Talk about an easy harvest. Gunfire becomes one continuous roar rolling across the plain. The kinetic energy shreds everything it hits. Even those heavily armored, massive flesh balls cannot endure it, bursting into bloody fragments. His kill log is flashing faster than ever before. He pivots the gun barrel to clear sectors. The horde lured away is now 500 meters off, closing in a dark mass. He bares his teeth, ready to slaughter. Almost every bullet hits and bodies explode like ripe watermelons in under 10 seconds. Well, over 100 zombies are wiped out. The ground runs slick with blood. The battle is over. He radios them, asking for a cigarette. Joe stammers yes as His crew toss an unopened pack over. He tilts the glowing hot gun barrel up and touches the cigarette to it. It catches with a sizzle. He takes a deep drag, smoke billowing as the heavy nicotine spin hits him. This is what the apocalypse feels like. The slaughter alone earned him 40 gold with his title bonus, and Joe Soryang's payment is over 60, a truly thrilling haul. He tells them to stay put, climbs down, starts the engine, and drives off. Joe's crew exchange stunned looks. Infinite bullets. They have actually run into a real powerhouse with infinite bullets. The fat man mutters blankly that the guy just left. Joe snaps back, grabbing the mic, shouting for him to add him as a friend, but he is already out of range by the time he checks the chat channel. It is flooded with panic screams from people unable to hold, offering payment or cursing tonight's aggressive zombies. Someone asks how to fight a flesh ball, only to hear that headshots are the key. Because the belly fat is a meter thick, another argues that at long range without ballistic correction, hitting them is a miracle. Another warns everyone not to ram them because those flesh balls cannot be rammed. Already, crazy stories are spreading of someone slamming into one and lifting their entire vehicle front. Someone else laughs that the slamming into one and lifting the entire front chassis. Someone laughs that the lone wolves and small teams who refuse to join big groups are absolutely dumbfounded now. The regional count drops below 90,000, with several thousand wiped out in minutes. Genang follows last night's playbook, posting a paid assistance message in the chat. The channel erupts instantly, with people begging this new powerhouse to save them. Warnings quickly follow about scammers like Jin Xian, Zhou Wu, and John Bin. They promise rescue but demand trade first, prompting someone to ask a question. Is that not Genang, the legendary lone wolf from last night, rescuing people again? He seems incredibly confident, though others worry solo players might be scammers too. A counterwave hits, warning that anyone calling Master G a scammer is asking for trouble. He saved them last night, earning the title of the top sniper in these plains. Another survivor calls him Jai Hong, thanking him for just saving their team. Then Joe Soryang chimes in with a review, keeping his massive Gatling gun a secret. He only mentions that Genang saved the mining team from certain death. This solid testimony from a team leader lands perfectly, bringing in hundreds of distress messages. Completely flooded with requests, Genang grabs a nearby order to start his run. The rescue fee is just a bonus because the real money lies in harvesting flesh balls. At 10 for 5 gold, they are worth the trouble, but driving tonight is harder. Unlike ordinary zombies, these must be avoided or sniped, which completely crushes his efficiency. He has to stop multiple times to clear a path using his machine gun. His success rate drops to just 2 out of 10 as the zombie pressure intensifies. Many survivors are torn apart before he can arrive, by midnight after 6 straight hours. Of driving and covering over 100 kilometers, he completes 8 rescues for 50 gold. With extra materials, this haul beats last night, and the peak demand soon drops. Genang parks to tally his earnings, sorting through too many scattered items to fit. He clears 20 gold and withdraws his title kill bonus, bringing the total to a shocking 271 gold. Most comes from slaying over 500 ordinary zombies and 150 flesh balls. The ratio is normally 30-1, but he deliberately hunted them. Among solo players, he is now undeniably top tier. Now it is time to shop, though antiviral serum remains over 100 gold. He will wait. A single infinite ammo mod is listed for a ridiculous 150. Infinite durability is not listed anywhere, as powerful firearms modifications are actively hoarded. His sniper rifle is at 68% durability, and the Gatling is at 77. Soon they will be scrap. He spends 18 gold on a super barrel cooling upgrade, and 12 more on no recoil modifications, applying both directly to the Gatling gun. The cooling system boosts recovery 20 times over, massively extending its durability. Now permanently bound, the zero recoil mod eliminates kickback for outstanding stability. Also permanently bound, he grabs some steel sheets and essentials before the main event. 7 of 10 vehicle parts are fully upgraded, leaving him to select the final 3. The power generator, the air conditioning unit, and the advanced millimeter wave radar. Upgrading the generator adds a matching battery to power the other systems. This costs him 3 gold, 3 parts, and 1 cathode material. The air conditioner gets upgraded next, providing cooling directly to the front cabin. It costs 2 gold and 1 refrigerant. Next, the millimeter wave radar. It upgrades to 6 sensors covering every angle, scanning the entire surrounding perimeter. It tracks moving targets within 20 meters, costing 5 gold. He runs to the exchange. He finds the missing materials and clicks upgrade one by one. As the final piece finishes, a notification pops up. All vehicle parts have hit level 10, and advancement is finally unlocked. The cost is 50 gold, 20 parts, 100 steel sheets, and 1 level. 1 chip conditions he has already met. He is hyped, dying to see what advanced. Ride this becomes, hoping for an RV, he watches the system prompt him to choose a path. Path 1, the Ghost Walker, drifting between night and mystery with great mobility, cheap to build, special upgrades let it consume massive fuel. To go invisible in the dark, the downside is a single track that weakens later on. Then there is Path 2, the Combat Vehicle, built for battle with great utility and mobility, moderate cost, featuring diverse combat and defensive components with no obvious weaknesses, suited for most. Path 3 is the Extreme Equipment Vehicle. The system gives a triple warning not to choose this without serious cash. Extreme performance. Mobility, unreal build costs, a massive upgrade tree with power scaling. Entirely with cash poured in, both its ceiling and floor break through the heavens. It is not recommended for ordinary survivors because its consumption is far beyond imagination. The system adds a snide note that if he insists on being stubborn, he can go right ahead. It reminds him that initial vehicles differ, so options vary. Basic upgrades carry over, but the path locks permanently. 3 completely different futures lie ahead. Talk about a massive crossroad. One wrong pick means a lifetime of regret, but for him, there is only one choice. With his triple S intelligence talent, is he really going to fear not being able to fund this extreme beast? Path 3, Advance. The system deducts 50 gold, 20 parts, 100 steel sheets, 1 level, 1 chip, and announces the advancement is successful. The van releases a blindingly dazzling white light. He floats slightly off the seat as everything dissolves into a silhouette, growing and reforming. The process lasts a full 2 minutes before he drops back into the driver's seat. Everything has changed. The system names it a heavy armored RV. Tier 2, max speed 50. Durability is 100%, slowly decreasing, remaining 1.5 units remain, good for 225 kilometers. Upgrades include a shooting bay, not upgradable, replaceable tires, and level 1 chassis and outer armor. Seats are replaceable, with the rest at level 10. Next advancement requires 1,500 gold, 400 parts, 5,000 steel, 100 alloy, and 1 armor core. Unlocked at level 50, the system evaluates it as a simple armored RV, with many functions to develop, yet already an unconquerable steel beast. Against ordinary zombies, for apocalypse survival, this is the ultimate survival platform. He starts exploring. Up front, 2 seats, in back a large partition. Space holds a small kitchen, dining sofa, and a 2.2 by 1.5 meter bed. A hammock drops from the partition with a tiny bathroom further back. He finally does not have to sleep on a cramped sofa anymore or do his business out in the wild. He finally has a proper shower. For the past 2 days, he's been caked in sticky, rank mud and blood. Unfortunately, there is no water yet. When he turns the faucet, nothing comes out. He will have to refill it. Next, he climbs a telescopic ladder to the 2nd floor. There are about 5 cubic meters of cargo space, a sunroof, and a machine gun mount. Stepping outside, the riveted outer armor gives off a heavy cyber wasteland vibe. Relief settles in his chest. He can finally live a somewhat normal life. He still needs water to live. Sunken Moon Lake is only 2 kilometers away. He targets a branch stream to refill. The moment he hits the pedal, the car feels sluggish. It feels like a worn-out old axe. The maximum speed drops from 120 to 50. The old engine struggles to haul this heavy body. Fuel consumption is absolutely brutal now. 1 unit gets him only 150 kilometers. The upgrade literally burns his money. The system warning was no joke, but he has plenty. He spends 15 gold and 10 parts. Upgrading the engine to level 2, displacement jumps to 2.0, bringing top speed to 80. At 1 in the morning, he pulls up by the stream. The blood mist finally clears up. Moon and stars reflect cleanly on the dark water. He buys a pump and hose from the exchange. He drops one end in the current, plugs the other into his tank, and lets it pump. This tank easily holds 300 liters. He leans against the car and lights a cigarette. Suddenly, his eyes catch a soft white glow pulsing from a patch of thick weeds nearby. He draws his hybrid pistol dagger, the Alaska, and creeps toward the mysterious light source. Up close, he spots a hidden treasure chest sitting deep in the glowing grass. Its sides are carved with strange patterns under ghostly green stems. The panel names it. A luminous treasure box, appearing only when the moonlight shines just right. It holds rare rewards, spawning only after the blood mist clears. Talk about a lucky break. He cracks it open. 3 rewards appear, including a noise emitter and 30 rounds of ammo. These are armor-piercing bullets, alongside a special growth weapon gift box marked as rare. This is nothing like a common chest. The noise emitter is a highly specialized firearm. It fires sound balls that release 5 minutes of intense high-frequency noise. This noise draws in monsters from up to 1,000 meters with a 12-hour recharge. It is the perfect monster bait, great for farming targets or escaping a deadly horde. The capacity is just 1 round, but features infinite recharge. Those limits prevent overusing it. The long cooldown keeps him careful. Next, those armor-piercing rounds look highly destructive. They are incredibly powerful, serving as rare anti-material rifle ammunition. These bullets are completely untradeable, and with the exchange showing nothing, he must adapt. He posts a buy notice on the public channel, then turns to his 3rd reward. A strong hunch tells him that the ultimate class must be growth weapons. Normal guns hit a ceiling fast, but stats and cars can keep scaling forever. Therefore, weapons must also grow. He opens the box and it dissolves instantly. Shifting white light rapidly morphs into a gun, then a hammer, then a massive sword. The shapes blur faster and faster until the final weapon finally settles into place. A dark blade emerges, roughly a meter long, with cold, blackened red ripple patterns. The hilt feels rough and freezing. He grabs hold of it, but it barely budges. Tightening his grip, he uses every ounce of strength just to raise the weapon. This is no sword, it is a barbell weighing at least 100 jin. The system identifies the blade as Blood of the Moon, a rare tier growth weapon. In this world, gear tiers range from common, fine, and rare, up to legendary. With infinite durability, its modification slots are currently completely empty. Forging progress sits at 0%, with exclusive skills locked until treasure tier. The description details it as a powerful gift from the goddess of the night. It is forged from star iron and moon bloodstone, holding brutal raw power. But its low level prevents it from showing its true, ultimate form. Warning notes that pulling another growth weapon now becomes nearly impossible. He will get exclusive skills down the road and already has giant Terra pincers. They are the perfect forging materials. He drags the pincers out and taps forging. He lacks a blacksmith talent, no surprise there, this will be tough. He needs to keep stripping materials off elite monsters and find a trustworthy blacksmith. For now, those modification slots work, so he burns a lightweight mod on it. The blade drops some weight, but only a bit, nothing near that 2/3 claim. The screen reads lightweight level 1, noting that all modifications. Effects on growth equipment are cut by 80%, scaling with slot levels. Can he level the modification slot itself? Talk about a total cash drain, guys. He applies super edge sharpening to Blood of the Moon, and light sweeps the metal. The blade looks visibly sharper now. Feeling the obvious power bump, he sighs and does the math. Vehicles, weapons, stats, everything needs gold. He has to pivot. His next target is antiviral serum, listing at 145, 130, and 100. He messages everyone. Whoever holds top-tier loot is either a big hitter or desperate. That cheap seller reads exactly like someone desperate to cash out right now. He gets it for 89 gold. It is a tiny bottle of dark blue liquid. The panel calls it antiviral serum, a single shot for complete immunity. It shields against corpse poison, insect venom, snake bites, and nasty infections. Though high-tier toxins still hurt, this is worth every coin. He takes the injection. He feels nothing, yet poisons cannot touch him now. He is ready. He hoses himself down, locks up the RV, and peels off those smelly clothes. After scrubbing off layers of grime in the shower, he finally dives onto his bed. The mattress feels like heaven as he rolls under the cozy, warm covers. While other survivors are sleeping in the dirt, he enjoys this luxury RV. Checking the chat, his buying notices remain unanswered, so he drops a few more. He watches the midnight chatter scroll by before drifting off. He wakes at 8 a.m. Sunlight hits. He slept right through the zombies clawing at his door. He buys a new toothbrush, towel, and cup to wash up before eating a massive breakfast. After packing his pistol, he steps outside. The weather forecast shows a gorgeous day. Clear skies, perfect for hunting inside the depths of the starry sky great forest. Warnings caution against trespassing. Just then, a few stray zombies lunge forward. They try clawing at his armor, but he easily drops them with clean headshots. He overslept, time to push. The regional population is dropping fast. It is down to 80,000 survivors, everyone on edge after that second night. Day 3 is frantic, and major alliances are still mass recruiting. Offering 5 gold, a group of 18 begs another team to push in. They are heading deep into the forest on foot. Survival only, cowards stay back. Suicidal, that is what others call entering that dangerous, deeper forest. It is full of elite nests, and a 50-man group was just wiped out. Their final message warns everyone away, but the reply is instant: fortune. Fortune favors the bold. Getting one high-tier chest is worth the entire risk. One survivor claims he almost got dragged away, but the loot is too good. He would walk through a dragon's den. Meanwhile, top groups only recruit big spenders. Specifically requiring 200 gold spent, they already have 13 elite members. Major defectors are joining. Interesting, he checks his private messages. In his old friend requests, someone is offering an anti-material sniper rifle. He replies immediately. The seller addresses him as Master G, assuming he already bought a weapon elsewhere before showing the item, an anti-material Barrett. An M8201, empty magazine, loading only armor-piercing rounds. 100% durability, a devastating anti-material weapon, the upper limit of individual firearms. The recoil is so vicious that firing it can crack a collarbone or ribs, triggering massive internal bleeding. It is strictly forbidden. For weak survivors, these special weapons cannot be modified, and they sit at Level 3 restricted trade, meaning no public exchange or online personal deals. The system splits transactions into 4 tiers: exchange, personal, offline, and untradeable. His Blood of the Moon is at the top, completely untradeable. While this Barrett is at Tier 3, offline only, the seller goes by Wang Dong. He claims he pulled it on day 1 and has been holding it. He finally found a real buyer, admitting he feared getting robbed by others. But G has a solid reputation. The perks of high prestige pay off fast. They settle on 13 gold and a meeting spot, the armored RV's chassis. Treats any rough terrain as flat ground, letting him arrive in no time. He arrives in under 30 minutes. The seller has an ordinary sedan with upgraded armor. A young guy bounces out, waving enthusiastically as if waiting forever. His crew of tough, watchful men stare at G's vehicle and visibly recoil, first mistaking it for a truck, before recognizing the massive armored RV. This is the clear ride of a powerhouse. Wang Dong and his crew raise their hands and slowly turn around, palms out, showing they are unarmed. G parks and steps out. Wang Dong greets him, pops his trunk and hauls this Barrett out dozens of jin of dead weight. G inspects it and transfers gold. The weapon is incredibly heavy, a legendary handheld sniper cannon. With brutal heft, G heads back to his van. Suddenly, Wang Dong and his men exchange tense glances. He calls out that they have one more thing. G stops and turns. He waited until after the gun was sold to mention it. Meaning this costs real trust, a treasure map. G tenses up. The seller nods, explaining that both the rifle and this map came from Black Mountain. He pulls out a parchment scroll tied with hemp and lets G read it. The system screen calls the cursed parchment scroll, a unique item containing clues to an ancient treasure. But because it rested too long in the corpse king's tomb, a cursed mist shrouds the surface, making it completely unreadable. A warning at the end states that no one else must ever know they hold this scroll. It cannot be stored in the inventory and sits at level 3 restricted trade, a unique treasure. G's eyes narrow. Wang Dong looks absolutely terrified, hands trembling, asking if he is finished reading. G tells him not to worry, promising to buy it right now. Relief immediately washes over the seller's face. Carrying this had clearly been agonizing. If anyone found out, they would become instant targets. They wanted to find Li Jianguk, but they had no way to reach someone so powerful until G's fame offered a perfect opportunity. He asks for 200 gold, though it is worth far more. However, gold is incredibly scarce and valuable during these early days. To any ordinary survivor, carrying this cursed scroll is just a death sentence. Cashing out quickly makes total sense. He tells the dealer he cannot pay 200 gold for the scroll. It clearly has massive usage restrictions, especially with that cursed mist clinging to it. The merchant laughs, praising his sharp eyes while admitting he inflated the price to negotiate. He counters with 180, but our guy fires back with 80 as his final offer. The seller's face twists in pure agony before he finally sighs, accepting the low price. He calls it a friendship discount. Anyone else would risk getting robbed clean. 80 gold will upgrade his vehicle a tier and buy him real safety. He pays 50 up front. The remaining 30 is in parts. The seller swears to keep this completely quiet. Nothing good comes from leaking this info. Back in the van, he sets the parchment down. Placing it on the armrest, he unties the cord. An ancient map unspools before him. Strange lines cover the paper, but a thick gray mist completely obscures everything. Only blurry outlines show. Then a sudden system alert pops up. The scroll is sealed under a curse. It cannot be viewed yet. To break it, he needs corpse king blood. High stakes indeed. Wang Dongryong avoided this hunt. He was wildly outclassed. So he keeps driving. The heavy vehicle flies across open plains. No forests or swamps here. His haul is looking incredibly thin. Aside from stray zombies, there is little to fight. Luck holds though. He cracks open 2 wooden chests, 8 gold, 10 parts, 12 leather. Just miscellaneous items. To find real loot, he needs actual terrain. Wang Dongryong mentioned that the Black Mountain mining area is close. He quickly finds a miner on global chat and pays half a gold. He gets a direct coordinate ping, 30 kilometers, Black Mountain it is. No more stopping for chests. He hits full throttle immediately. But the engine feels weak, so he sells dozens of parts for 20 gold. Upgrading to a 3.0 pushes top speed to 120. The familiar heavy force shoves him back into his seat. The deep rumble drops. A massive thrust hurls the steel beast forward. Suddenly, Black Mountain rises on the horizon, a long, unbroken dark ridge. It looks like a sleeping dragon, oppressive yet beautiful. Resource-rich zones attract everyone. Peering through the window, he spots parked trucks. Distinctive vehicles line the rocky slopes, mostly small trucks flying faction banners. Men sweat swinging heavy pickaxes. The loud clang of metal echoes everywhere. This iron ore can be smelted into steel sheets or crafted into valuable parts. It is easily the hardest job around, but it provides the steadiest income. The mines are mostly run by residents. Online chats confirm the math. A regular worker pulls 5 to 7 gold of ore daily, a fine pickaxe. Doubles that to 10. Survivors with actual vehicles rarely bother to mine. Instead, they rest or hunt for chests. The entire perimeter is wrapped in barbed wire. There is only one main gate, heavily guarded. Every vehicle must pay a fee. Those greedy toll collectors belong to a single faction, the Ghost Dragon Society. He smiles. No wonder the survivors complain. Monopolizing natural resources is a dirty move. It shows exactly how heavy-handed the Ghost Dragon Society runs things. He pings his seller. The seller warns him that Ghost Dragon already controls multiple mines and oil fields. They cannot work them all, so they charge hefty entry fees to anyone passing through. Poachers operate with ruthless handling. Only the sheer pressure of survival keeps them going. He drives into the mountain itself, facing huge, unworked roads that worsen as he climbs. Even the RV's high chassis and off-road tires force him to slow down and pick lines carefully. The system prompt rings. Today's intelligence is finally received. It tells him he entered the Black Mountain mining area, a place where prospectors made fortunes and adventurers met their ends, roughly 500 meters ahead on the mountain face. There seems to be a strange geological change unlike the rest, which may yield something unusual. The warning is clear: do not go too deep. Once you hear rolling rocks, immediately flee. He steers toward a weed-covered hill, blending into the range, looking completely normal. Within 200 meters, he finds traces of recent gunfire across the grass and several corpses nearby. Their deaths are gruesome, blood still fresh. His face hardens, the intel said. Run at the first sound of rolling rocks. He approaches, Gatling gun ready. Scanning the area, he spots messy tracks and where grass meets rock, a metallic gleam. A bronze chest lies sunk in the mountain stone, the rock gouged with chisel marks. The dead survivors had found it, trying to break it free before panicking and dying dozens of meters away. He pulls out a fine pickaxe, last night's reward worth 10 gold. Its tip ferociously sharp. Scanning once more, he sees no threat, putting his full weight into the swing. With nearly 20 in physique and a fine tool, a massive chunk of rock face caves on the first hit. The moment he moves, a low, grinding rumble begins to rise. The unmistakable, terrifying sound of rolling stone. This is bad. He quickly yanks the Pickaxe into his pack, snaps his Gatling gun up and backs off, eyes alert. Rolling cloud of dust spills down as the rockfall builds louder, then a massive body shoulders out of the top, 5 meters tall and charging straight down, a giant stone ball with 4 limbs, no face, and 2 crimson eyes showing pure, raw savagery. The system screen pulls up. It is a mountain puppet elite monster, a loyal servant of an ancient mountain god, stripped of self-awareness and operating purely on divine instinct, attacking with fury anyone who damages the mountain god's body. No wonder they died, its limbs scramble down to hurl itself forward, but he has already retreated dozens of meters. With his Gatling gun leveled and barrels spinning, absolute firepower roars out, 60 rounds a second tear through the air, hitting the massive rock body easily. The stone shatters in layers, spraying debris everywhere. It feels no pain, but the heavy volume of fire slows it down, tearing it apart inch by inch. Its head is blown apart, huge cracks splitting the torso 10 meters away from him. Its limbs snap off, and the massive weight slides forward, crashing flat in. Plowing a long, muddy trench, he keeps firing into the remainder until it is nothing but rubble. Thanks to super cooling, the barrels remain effortlessly cool, with only thin smoke trailing, as if the gun could go another hour. He looks at the spent casings, carpeting the ground from that short window. Having fired at least 1,000 rounds, the kill notification rises. The elite monster is defeated, rewarding 2 gold and 1 stone heart. It is described as the puppet's hardest rock core, prime forging material for special growth gear and rare forging material, level 3 restricted trade. The item is of immeasurable value right now. He tucks it away, walking to the bronze chest. Pulling out his pickaxe, he swings dozens of times. A clean metallic snap echoes. The rewards roll in 100 gold coins and 8 C-level talent shards. There are also 3 B-level talent shards. No complaints here. That is a massive haul of coins and shards. Though this haul yields fewer materials than the last bronze chest, 100 solid gold coins is fantastic. Best of all, he finally gets the exact shards he has been starving for. That iron chest gave him 6 C-level shards. These 8 bring his total to 10. He initiates talent synthesis. The system announces that his C-level upgrade is complete. The system congratulates him on unlocking his second major talent, Eagle Eye at C-level. It activates by focusing his pupils, multiplying normal vision by 5 times. It also boosts dynamic vision tenfold, though it rapidly drains his stamina. The description calls it a direct upgrade to any physical targeting scope. It works for long-range firearms and close melee weapons, yielding incredible results. This gives him superhuman performance. A system hint notes survivors can hold only 2 talents. Any excess same-level talents can be dismantled and traded up for higher-tier shards. The trade ratio is 5-to-1. Plus, every talent can undergo transcendental awakening. Survivors are left to discover that mysterious path on their own. As the talent locks in, a warm energy floods his eyes, altering his sight. He focuses his pupils. Instantly, his entire field of view sharpens dramatically. The resolution is completely redone. Every single leaf and tiny detail pops out. Every shadow and grain of dust snaps into insanely bright, clear color. His world goes from low quality to ultra-high definition in one beat. The dynamic vision is even crazier, letting him see a distant bird flapping frame by frame. After barely 30 seconds, his body drags. A heavy fatigue starts setting in. It feels like he just ran a marathon, so he shuts the talent off. He leans on his knees, panting heavily to recover. This stamina cost is harsh. Honestly, if it did not drain stamina, this would easily be B-level or higher. With the bronze chest looted, he scans the messy field and feels deep unease. His experience here does not match the intel at all. The reports mentioned bizarre geological shifts capable of unearthing some highly unusual item. That description clearly was not talking about a chest. He keeps searching the hill. He searches for an hour. Just as he is about to quit, something catches his eye. Deep inside a small cave, a strange rock face shows faint red, web-like patterns. Intrigued, he grabs his pickaxe and moves in for a closer look. The cave ceiling is low. He squeezes in, bracing one hand against the wall. He swings his tool in measured, rhythmic beats. After a few hard strikes, the outer stone layer flakes away, revealing a massive, dazzling expanse of deep red. He stares at the glowing red gemstones, his eyes widening in pure shock. The system identifies it as a rare fire spirit stone mine. These stones fuel fire element gear, and there are 21 available. Just one of these fetched a massive price on chat from a guild leader. Now he has 21 at once. He eagerly chips away at the rock. Within minutes, the crystals are hollowed out, glowing warmly in his hand. They will not fit his bag, so he pockets them, but as he turns, a sudden sound. He grabs the Gatling gun and retreats to his RV, spotting 2 off-road vehicles. Flying the black flags of the Ghost Dragon Society, suddenly the radio crackles with hostile threats. A scruffy middle-aged man warns him that he entered a restricted zone and must pay 20 gold or die, a yellow-haired kid gleefully urges Brother Long to rob him blind, but Brother Long tells him to wait because the system blocks direct force trades. Instead, they will use junk to shake him down. Piece by piece, sneering that bringing a massive RV into their territory means he is tired of living. These 2 are the Society's mountain patrol veterans at extorting lone survivors. When he ignores their threats, Brother Long pops open his sunroof and fires a wild burst. Sparks rain off the armor as he calmly loads armor-piercing rounds into his heavy rifle. Slipping into eagle-eye mode, his view sharpens until he can see every detail. He fires without a single hesitation. His windshield webs around a single puncture. The bullet tears through the glass. His skull 2 rows of seats and the back window. The yellow-haired kid is driving. Right next to them, seeing Brother Long slump over dead, he screams and swerves to escape, but a second sniper round takes off the top of his skull right through the window. Both vehicles fade away, leaving behind 2 corpses and dropped loot, most of it is junk, but a heavy weapon in the kid's car catches his eye. The interface calls it an anti-tank rocket launcher. It has full durability, a massive weapon of devastation with a system prompt warning that special class gear cannot be modified, listed, or traded. This is his second special class weapon. After his sniper rifle, the fool must have hidden it from his group, and now it benefits him instead. Too bad there are no rockets, but he can gather those. Later, he hauls it into the RV and drives away, before his world jump, killing 2 men would have terrified him. Now, bodies only bring a mild annoyance. By 2 in the afternoon, he parks at the base of a mountain to eat and search, without intel. Reports his luck is mediocre, yielding only a wooden chest, a long sword, and some gold coins and upgrade components. Night always seems to arrive early in this deep mining zone. He selects a steep hill that offers a wide line of sight, then spends 20 gold and 15 parts upgrading his level 2 chassis. A bright white light raises the chassis 10 centimeters, swaps in high-grade alloy suspension, and upgrades the brake calipers to titanium. Now the armored RV easily climbs a 60-degree slope and parks securely on the peak. The ground is too rough for driving tonight, so he focuses on hunting zombies. World chat is buzzing as prep time ends, the gap between players widening. Top-tier survivors are pulling ahead, while regular players dread the darkness. A player named Vegetable Pig has been messaging him for an hour, telling him she grew something new beside her lingen cabbage, a starlight spirit fruit. The system panel calls it a rare fruit from the starry sky great forest, exceptionally rich in spiritual energy. It boosts constitution by 5, has a once-per-day consumption limit, and grants starlight affinity that stacks an acceleration buff in starlight environments. She tells him that one of her cultivated plants mutated last night, and she has a whole basket saved just for him. He offers 15 gold, asking for a steady daily supply like the Ling Yun cabbage. She notes that mutations depend on pure luck, but swears she will maximize production even if it exhausts her. He puts her on salary starting tomorrow at 10 gold a day, with a daily raise of 2 in exchange for all her produce. Custom order. She practically leaps off her stone. Swearing she loves him, she is ready to do any farm work necessary, declaring herself officially his soldier. They close the deal at 30 gold for 1 starlight spirit fruit, 1 line cabbage, 5 sunshine broccoli, and miscellaneous gifts. He pulls a blue devil pattern fruit from his inventory, and it explodes sweet and crisp across his tongue, gone before he even notices. Then he eats dinner with ling cabbage and sunshine broccoli. Warm energy flows right through him. The status panel reads Gi Jiang Ranger title, granting Constitution +3. Spirit +3, 20% kill bonus, and Constitution at 26.5 with 8.5 from gear. Spirit 12, 1.32 gold withdrawable. Anytime. His bound armored RV is at modification level 13, with daily intelligence at triple S rank, hidden and unique, alongside C rank Eagle Eye. His Constitution is already double that of normal people, just one step from the superhuman bracket. He steps out and unsheathes Blood of the Moon, a nearly 100-pound crimson blade, no longer punishing one-handed, but still rough to swing and drill with alongside his plain longsword. As the heavy night curtain falls, the clock passes 6 and the third night begins. He cracks a cola and watches the black mist rise, terrifying howls, grotesque shapes begin to emerge. He climbs out the sunroof and activates Eagle Eye, the darkness snapping into crisp clarity. No new variants tonight, just ordinary zombies and flesh balls. But the count is half again as high as last night. He tells himself to wait for peak density 10 to 30 minutes in, when he will drop a noise emitter to draw a real horde. In chat, survivors are celebrating that no new zombie variants have appeared. Then the mood completely shifts. A user named Leah, vice president of the Ghost Dragon Society, announces that 2 of their members were murdered in the mining area. This afternoon, she offers a 2 gold reward for clues and warns that whoever did it will face endless brutal retaliation. The entire chat goes dead silent, except for a few massive guilds. Honestly, who has the nerve for something that bold? Plenty are quietly happy about the society's loss, but no one dares provoke those lunatics into making them the next public example. Even the Mountain and Sea Alliance and the smaller groups that usually trash-talk the society are staying totally quiet, stepping out now. Reads as a declaration, and with the 7-day horde days away, no one can afford a clash for the society. Mishandling this erodes their deterrent, so everyone watches. He watches too. Let them search, if he runs into more of them. Tomorrow he might just add to that count. About 10 minutes in, the valleys fill with bodies, truly staggering numbers. The broken terrain traps anyone without a high-grade chassis. Many spot his RV and charge to ram it, but the armor is a class above a standard minivan, and ordinary zombies cannot scratch its durability all night, while a flesh ball at full charge scrapes only a faint threat before rolling halfway back down the slope. Half an hour later, with howls saturating the peaks, he fires a noise emitter into a sunken basin downslope. It arcs like a red flare, drops dead center, and unleashes an ear-splitting noise rippling outward. The horde roars. Every zombie within a kilometer is pulled toward the sound, and he feels a subtle tremor shaking the ground. Zombies pile at visible speed into a writhing ball, with more streaming in like. Dead bodies pile up like a mountain, but to him, this is pure money. He throws open the sunroof, mounts the heavy Gatling gun, and pulls the trigger. Golden tracers stream out, bursting zombies like overripe, rotten fruit. Gold notifications flood his screen. 0.1 here, 0.5 there. 10 kills a second. His weapon barrel cools automatically, letting him spray continuously. Fresh monsters replace the fallen instantly. No matter, he keeps firing. Finally, the massive whale dies. Now, the surrounding zombies pivot toward him. They rush his vehicle. He shreds them all. Half an hour later, silence returns. The last zombie falls. A massive, gory carpet of severed limbs covers the hill. The Gatling barrel glows a faint red, but the loot, absolutely unreal. Well over 1,000 dead, including dozens of elite flesh balls. Total payout 392.5 gold. At this rate, he will reach Tier 3 by day 7 easily. He still has 1 noise grenade left to trigger a peak swarm, but this area is tapped. He moves out. He rolls back onto the gravel road. Elsewhere, other survivors face absolute hell. It is a bloodbath. Someone screams in agony, getting eaten leg first. Defense lines are collapsing everywhere. Emergency alerts warn of powerful elite monsters. They require immediate focus fire. Ju Jin from the Noxon group reports brokenly that a creature shattered their defense line. He watched it tear straight through their leader's reinforced car door, pin him down, and rip his spine out. Lai Zhanga cuts in over the radio, ordering his entire alliance to shrink their lines, retreat in good order, and head for the canyon. He insists these elites are rare. Hearing this, his face darkens. He assumed tonight would be simple, not filled with lightning-fast elite variants. This battle is the exact opposite of the giant centipede and mountain golem. Those targets were huge. These are hidden. He keeps his sunroof closed. After driving 2 kilometers, zombies swarm the vehicle, but his heavy chassis and powerful engine plows straight through them. Suddenly, a dark shape blurs from the forest at defense-shattering speed. His vehicle takes a massive side impact. Then another, claws screeching loudly on metal. He grabs his Barrett rifle on reflex, but then hesitates. Sniping through a small port is too risky. A damaged barrel is a major loss, and the Gatling takes too long. To spin up, time to try his scarlet sword, Blood of the Moon. He moves to the rear firing port, cracks the smallest hatch, and activates his eagle eye skill. A fast shadow streaks past, details pop up. Mad Zombie, an elite monster. It possesses terrifying speed and pierce stats. Its withered build makes it look like a normal zombie, easily fooling targets. The system notes a chilling warning, pray to never meet it outside. Luckily, defense is its weak point, but it keeps slamming the vehicle. The heavy racket draws more monsters. Within 10 seconds, the vehicle is surrounded. He fires a few pistol rounds out of the second hatch to draw. The elite it lunges forward, tossing other zombies aside like ragdolls. A withered clawed arm thrusts through the hatch, trailing dark blood. He slashes. Cutting its hand clean off, it roars, trying to pull back, but he thrusts along its arm straight into its throat, slicing clean through. Its skin and bone tear like wet paper, the violent thrashing almost breaking his grip. Even through his fine dwarven armor, a heavy arm swing leaves a deep ache in his side. As the wound widens, he throws his entire weight into a final, cutting pull. The creature's spine snaps, its head flops over, and the body goes completely limp. He gets a notification for killing the mad zombie, earning 2 gold and a rare nail. His legs shake violently as he slides to the floor, laughing through ragged breaths. His form was clumsy, but firearms could never match a raw melee rush like this. He touches the bruise, marveling that a single arm dented his high-tier armor. And that was after its hand was severed. Talk about insane elite striking power. Without the armored vehicle, a direct blow like that would have easily gutted him. He is still too weak. He quickly messages Jin Sonen, who replies almost instantly. Tearfully, she warns him that the chat looks terrifying and begs him to be careful. Fortunately, she has found a hidden spot where she safely hides away every night. Any stray zombies that stumble across her can't scratch her armor before midnight. Knowing she is safe, he relaxes. 30 minutes later, he spots a narrow highland. It is backed by a massive mountain, making it the perfect defensive choke point. He quickly clears the area, parks, and shoots a noise emitter into the distance. As the device lands, sound waves ripple out, drawing in the nearby horde. Using his eagle eye skill, he spots a fast black shadow weaving through. It is another mad zombie, and this one completely ignores the sound waves. Instead, it bares its fangs, roaring and clawing around for the source. A heavy sniper rifle would be complete overkill. And without proper ballistic correction, it struggles to hit from this far. So he slips his TRG-22 sniper rifle through the vehicle's shooting port. The moment he locks his crosshairs on target, the creature suddenly whips its head. It sensed his killing intent, he realizes before squeezing the trigger. The bullet flies 800 meters, piercing its eye and blowing its skull apart. Its brainless body still stumbles forward, mindlessly charging the vehicle anyway. 2 rapid follow-up shots completely shatter its head, and the system panel flashes. Another elite falls for 2 gold, but it drops no forging materials. Elites do not always guarantee loot, but the noise emitter is still working. As the pile grows, a 3rd mad zombie charges, but he reacts instantly. He blasts its head open like a ripe watermelon before it can even screech. That makes 3 elites down tonight, yielding 2 more gold and another rare nail. With elite numbers thinning out, he opens the sunroof to switch tactics. His roaring Gatling gun shreds the massive corpse pile for 300 gold. 2 waves of pure mowing action bring in nearly 800 gold total. However, the heavy Gatling durability has dropped down to 37%. The exchange's infinite durability section is empty, completely empty. It is almost 11, and hunting without noise bait wastes too much durability. Now sitting on over 800 gold, he is officially a wealthy survivor. The only question is how to spend it, and his eyes drift to the vehicle. Looking at those upgrade options, seriously, who wouldn't smile here? His inventory has over 831 gold, a heavy machine gun, and a Tier 2 upgrade. He reviews his inventory, 830 gold, a Tier 3 machine gun, and Tier 2. Sniper 2 pistols, a long sword dagger, and 700 normal grade rounds. Dwarf fine armor and excellent pickaxe, 421 parts, and 121 steel. Machete 92 leather, a rare armor core, a giant terror penciler, and a mountain. Puppet stone heart 2 crazy corpse nails, 35 fresh fruits, 10 venison, and 29. High-grade breads 18 instant foods, plus 4 C-grade and 4 B-grade talent. Fragments, personal attributes can wait. Jin Sonen is still his best supplier, so he reserves 200 coins for her. weapons are solid between Gatling, Barrett, and Blood. The Moon only lacking infinite durability, so another 100 gold goes. Right there, the remaining 500 goes into the RV, upgrading armor first because the basic level 1 plate cannot handle the danger ahead. That costs 80 gold, 65 parts. And 100 steel sheets. He confirms the upgrade, and white light sweeps the shell, replacing rivets with sleek matte black plating. It looks incredibly clean. The Tier 1 all-terrain tires are worn paper-thin, so he spends 2 gold and 1 piece of leather for a fresh set plus spares, then 20 gold and 10 leather for Tier 2. Super tires that automatically adjust their tread pattern and load to the terrain. Upgrading the chassis takes 50 gold and 35 parts to level 3, the engine 45 gold and 60 parts to hit level 4, because hardware is no place to cut corners. He fires up the 4.0 displacement engine, pushing top speed to 160 kilometers an hour. It lets out a deep, heavy roar with real kick, making the vehicle essentially an armored tank without a cannon. Inside the cabin, he pushes toward the level 50 threshold for tier advancement. Upgrading the air conditioner takes 15 gold for a level 2 central system. The fridge gets fully upgraded, and 50 gold buys a folding solar roof panel that generates power by day and retracts at night. Integrating this into the exterior armor next tier costs another 200 gold, which he dismisses immediately. The last big upgrade goes to the radar system since his old radar kept lagging on fast zombies at night. This level 2 millimeter wave targeting system has a 500-meter threat detection radius, linked to autonomous machine gunfire, costing 100 gold, 85 parts, and a level 1 ship. After this, it is basically an automatic turret, he mutters, since mounting a Gatling gun with infinite ammo and durability would make the roof an unstoppable defense tower, but that is way too expensive for now, so he hopes to score infinite durability tomorrow. He fills up the tank, and his panel reports a Tier 2 heavy armored RV running at 160 kilometers per hour with full fuel. The gun compartment and roof are locked. Engine level 4, chassis level 3, central air level 2, and exterior armor level 2, power generation level 2, and millimeter wave radar level 1. Total requirements are 500 gold, 400 parts, 5,000 steel sheets, 100 alloy, and 1 armor core, all locked until every upgradable part hits level 50. Past midnight by the time he finishes, and the zombies outside have drifted away, so he heads out for a night patrol, hoping to strike gold again, but luck does not play along. By 2 in the morning, he showers and crashes. The 4th day arrives. With the blue sky completely gone, the air heavy under murky clouds, the system issues a heavy fog warning at 27 to 38 degrees, unsafe for travel, warning of monsters from Twilight Canyon wandering out in this thick fog. He frowns since visibility under 10 meters is a major headache after days of clear hunting as temperatures rise. Instead of dropped, the global chat is flooded with complaints as the regional survivor count crashed to just over 70,000 after a brutal night where entire groups were almost wiped out by mad zombies. Desperate voices curse the fog and complain about the muggy heat, begging others to upgrade their air conditioners while describing crazy zombies tearing through defenses and reminding everyone that only 3 days remain until the zombie horde. He drafts a purchase offer for rare forging materials, armor-piercing bullets, rocket-propelled grenades, and infinite durability upgrades. Then he drives out. Most replies are scattered offers of 3 or 4 armor-piercing rounds he cannot be bothered to travel for, except 1 full batch of 10 rocket-propelled grenades he secures for 15 gold and a quick neutral meet, finally bringing his rocket launcher online and making his long-range loadout of armor-piercing Barrett rocket-propelled grenades and his infinite ammo Gatling gun, top tier for any survivor trying to fight creatures far above elite tier. The dense fog hides every chest, so he cruises the plains hoping his intelligence triggers. Around noon, an unexpected private message arrives from a user named Hajusheng, a female player offering rare forging materials and a hot weapon infinite durability mod never seen on the public exchange. She prices it relative to infinite ammo at 140 gold. After some sharp haggling, they settle at 95 for the mod and 10 each for 3 forging materials. Offline trade. They are only 10 kilometers apart, and he keeps his guard high. Anyone securing 3 rare materials this fast either solo killed 3 elite monsters or is running goods for a large faction. He reaches the meat 10 minutes hits his hazard lights and waits inside his vehicle, watching a motorcycle. Exhaust roars, a young woman in fingerless gloves and a leather jacket rolls up on a massive bike. Her ponytail whips in the wind, her face completely expressionless, giving off an aura that keeps everyone at arm's length. He activates Eagle Eye to read her threat level, and she senses it instantly. Her expression tightens with wariness as she drifts to a stop and asks through her intercom how he wants to trade. Her voice is pleasant but ice cold. Even her high-tech ride looks less like a regular motorcycle, more like a heavily upgraded experimental machine. Instead of carrying firearms, she carries melee weapons on her back and in the rack, marking her as a combat prodigy and easily the strongest lone wolf he has encountered in days. He tells her to drop the materials and back off 100 meters. She flatly agrees, drops them, mounts up and pulls back. He confirms the items with Eagle Eye, transfers 30 gold, and she speeds away without another word the instant her balance updates. He thinks she is incredibly rude, but he still sends a friend request after her receding figure, not because of her good looks, but because she clearly has the potential to find even better high-tier items later. Surprisingly, she accepts. He messages her saying he always buys for materials and to bring him any rare goods. Her incredibly blunt response instantly kills the conversation, but minutes later, she surprisingly messages him, asking how he manages to have so much money. He thinks this girl has absolutely no manners and jokingly replies that it simply fell from the sky. She completely misses his sarcasm, offering her services the next time he has trouble he cannot handle, provided he pays well. He pushes back, asking if she can truly solve his problems, and she boldly claims she is very strong. He can only marvel at an ego that somehow eclipses his own. Seriously, talk about confidence. Meanwhile, on her end, Haju Sheng has parked her ride, crossing her arms with a proud, confident tilt of her head. She waits in silence. Minutes pass. She types, demanding why he read her message but never replied, before deleting it in irritation. She wonders aloud if he is looking down on her. Suddenly, a zombie lunges from the fog. It lunges at her bike with a feral howl. A streak of light flashes its head, hops off mid-lunge. A dozen more streaks of light pour from her side, weaving round the corpse, warping at high speed until the body becomes minced flesh. Then flying back to hover silently by her side, a swarm of prismatic flying blades. She snorts, drops the gear, and her silhouette on her Tier 2 ghost vehicle vanishes into the fog. Meanwhile, he parks by a stream to refill using the pump and hose. While he waits, he mounts the Gatling gun onto the base, applying his infinite durability modification. Watching the durability gauge tick from 37% to infinite, true endless bullets at last. He moves on to the targeting radar, buying a level 1 chip with 100 golden materials. The system chimes that the radar has upgraded, then asks a follow-up, detecting that his machine gun now possesses the 3 essentials of a true defensive turret. It possesses infinite bullets, infinite durability, and super barrel cooling, asking whether to bind the radar to the mount, warning that after binding, the gun cannot be disassembled. He clicks his tongue, bit of regret that he cannot drag the Gatling into dungeons anymore, but there is no having both, he confirms. Instantly, the whole mount shifts, every detachable part in the gun body merging into the roof armor. The new base sprouts electronic components for full 360-degree rotation. The panel registers a level 1 machine gun turret with infinite bullets paired with radar for automatic targeting. The first upgrade path is the close-in weapon system, scaling to a larger caliber at 200 rounds per second with massive lethality against massive enemy creatures, requiring 500 gold, 100 parts, 1500 steel sheets. As for the second option is a focused flame turret using fuel and heavy oil to spray napalm out to 200 meters with ultra-high temperature adhesive burn, locking the turret forever. Costs 350 gold, 100 parts, 50 oil, 50 fuel. Once his vehicle finally reaches Tier 3, anti-aircraft guns, laser cannons, and other turret paths will unlock. Both options leave his head spinning since both are genuinely powerful but incredibly expensive. Last night's massive 800 gold reserve has shrunk to just over 200. We all know that painful feeling of going broke instantly. Time to make money, he sighs, buying lunch from the exchange. More bad news drops from Jin Sonen, who tells him the fog and missing sunlight have slowed her plants down to a complete stop. Apologizing with a crying emoticon, he tells her it is fine. The public channel is wall-to-wall complaints and Many survivors have abandoned chest hunting to gather in mining areas and forests for steady income, dropping raw material prices while firearm ammunition has ticked up. Desperate voices curse the fog and complain about the near 40-degree afternoon, warning that monsters in the fog have killed people. Without a single message of warning, the Battlefield Alliance has announced that all members must leave in teams, calling solo runs absolute death sentences. He has no clean answer for this weather, so he steels himself and keeps cruising. Worse still, his photovoltaic panels cannot generate without sunlight, so he burns extra fuel running the targeting radar in the central cabin, which almost doubles his fuel rate. Strangely, the daytime zombie count has dropped and the radar barely triggers. Just as he starts to wonder, a large red dot pops and the roof gun erupts into a furious 3-second burst. The muzzle tracks a ghostly shape, tearing through wet flesh as a kill notification slides. In for one missed corpse worth 1 gold, the daytime species others warned about is worth half an elite monster's value, a surprisingly rich payout even though on foot exploration today would be too dangerous. He keeps cruising the fog blanketed plain, hoping intel triggers. The drift carries him past 3 in the afternoon when the ground turns muddy, sinking his tires by a third. He wonders if he has circled back to the swamp. As he enters this special terrain, the small red dots multiply into a dense cluster of snakes and insects and small swamp creatures. The roof gun starts cracking off precise single shots. These rarely yield gold, with the occasional juvenile blood python only worth 1/10, so he switches off auto attack to avoid drawing attention. Just over 2 hours left until dark. Whether he triggers intel rides on this run, he swaps to quieter mud tires, grabs his sniper and creeps forward. His vehicle handles the shallow swamp without threat of getting stuck, and he takes the occasional adult blood python or larger swamp creature with careful sniper shots. Half an hour in, the intel chime asks if he wants today's report, and he accepts immediately. The report opens with a warning. He is entering the dangerous territory of a terrifying giant creature 500 meters ahead. Any vehicle below Tier 3 should not venture inside, but we all know fortune favors the bold. The little secret is that starting 300 meters directly ahead, swamp depth jumps from half a meter to 10 meters, and during the dry season, mysterious white light has been seen flashing from cracks in the mud. Mysterious white light has to be a silver treasure chest. His breathing speeds up since he has only ever found wooden, black, iron, and bronze chests in the 4th tier prize has finally surfaced. He cannot afford to provoke the terrifying creature, which leaves only his sniper quiet enough. He creeps forward at 15 kilometers an hour until mud climbs to half the wheel hubs and stops. He picks off the dozens of red dots one by one, spending half an hour doing so. With the area clear, he spends 10 gold on diving gear and oxygen tanks, then 12 more on a silenced Desert Eagle. He slips into his waistband next to the dagger, leaving the blood of the moon behind, since its weight would drag him down. He pushes through knee-deep swamp water, mud thinning into a viscous pool. As the swamp deepens, then he switches on his headlamp, though the water is so turbid, even a strong beam buys less than half a meter of visibility. The silence is broken only by his breathing bubbles. The dive runs a full hour. He sweeps tirelessly across the silt and finds nothing, so he steels himself and shuts off the lamp, plunging into suffocating darkness. He decides he will swim blind despite the psychological pressure, and he keeps combing inch by inch. His oxygen runs out, and he is about to surface to swap tanks when a faint glow blooms in the water ahead. He kicks hard toward it, and a silver glowing treasure chest comes into view in the silt, its intricate pattern shimmering like a sunken treasure on the seabed. Out of oxygen, he holds his breath and grabs the chest, kicks hard for the surface, breaks out and gulps air, dragging the chest back to the shallows. He throws it onto the bank and collapses, exhausted and filthy but grinning. The sky is fully dark, so he hauls it to the RV, strips the diving suit, showers clean, and switches on the air conditioner. It is already 7 in the evening, and night fell an hour ago without him. Noticing, he realizes how lucky he was that this swamp had no zombies, because surfacing soaked right into a fight would have been a nightmare. He looks down at the exquisite chest on the floor, silver patterns glowing on the lid, the system tagging it as a silver treasure chest, and asking if he is ready to become a powerful figure. His heart pounds since this is his first chest of this tier, and he lifts the lid. A crisp note rings out and the drops scroll past. 200 gold, 300. Hearts 10 alloy, 10 disposable forging devices, 1 melee weapon modification. Called Super Edge Sharpening, 1 precious grade cicada wing armor, 5. B-level talent shards, his eyes go wide, he focuses first on the alloy. The cicada wing armor, the system describes. Alloy is a very expensive high-tier vehicle part, upgrade material obtained. When a blacksmith smelts steel sheets and the disposable forging device is a one-time unit into which growth type equipment and forging materials are placed for one forging. Alloy is key for further vehicle upgrades and the forging device means he can forge weapons himself now, which he had wanted for days. The cicada wing armor is precious grade on a scale of common, fine, rare, precious. Secret treasure, legendary, epic, and mythical at full durability, woven from the wings of a king-level creature called the adult void cicada, light as a feather and tough as steel, resisting almost all ordinary firearms and most melee weapons below precious grade. Its exclusive skill, ethereal form, sends body transparent for 10 seconds, during which it is immune to any physical attack and can fly freely with a 1-day cooldown, resettable for 10 gold, doubling on every reset within the same day. He takes a sharp breath since a 10-second invincibility skill means he is set. Talk about a massive upgrade. Soft like light gauze, almost weightless, meant to be worn inside. He strips his shirt and puts it on directly, the design covering upper body, lower body and neck without any pinch. Then he pulls his outer clothes back over, draws a deep breath and activates ethereal form. A faint flapping note rings out and he looks down to find he cannot see his hands, feet, or body, his whole form gone into a transparent void. He grabs the hilt of blood of the moon and the blade slides into the ethereal state with him, which shows he cannot attack with a weapon. Since the blade vanishes too, his only play is to ambush after he reappears. He touches the car body and the RV stays solid, meaning only items he can pick up come with him. He focuses and tries to float, the lift coming as easily as walking. His body rises on the first try. Honestly, it is thrilling. He laughs, throws open the car door and shoots out into the night. Even ethereal, he can still feel wind and smell air, though flight speed seems tied to physique and caps at about 30 kilometers an hour. He sweeps back and forth several stories up, then the state cuts out midair and he drops, slapping into the mud, covered in grime as he drags. He pulls himself up, half laughing, clean again inside his RV. He sits there. The lingering feeling remains in his chest. That cicada wing armor is his absolute strongest shield. It is a life-saving trump card, offering 10 seconds of total invincibility. That resettable cooldown means as long as he has gold, he can extend the window. He can do this repeatedly. Now, he can explore dangerous high-risk dungeons. After opening this chest, his B-rank talent shard count has officially hit 9. He is just one short of his first B-rank talent. Luckily, bronze chests drop them. Since bronze chests drop B-rank shards, he prioritizes them. After 7, the swamp goes dead silent. Chat is full of survivors, complaining that normal corpses are scarce. Instead, only Mi's corpses show up. An experienced voice chimes in with an explanation. Big factions announce that the fog is responsible, as Mi's corpses only spawn there. As long as everyone stays inside their vehicles, the night should pass safely. Others are complaining about the intense heat, while one brags about blasting his air conditioning. But someone else points out that a single unit of fuel costs 10 gold. That is a whole day's wage in the mines. He might as well sleep, but he hasn't eaten. His appetite has basically doubled, since his constitution stat shot straight up. Just then, Jinsonen pings him about a rare mutated mist treasure fruit. It is a special mutation born from a rare fruit soaking in energy-rich fog. It boosts constitution by 10 with a weekly cap, while granting a permanent healing buff. This speeds up wound recovery and grants total immunity to the fog's debuffs. He tells her she did an incredible job and is definitely getting a raise. She opens a trade, but the system blocks it, panicking her until he steps in. He explains that special fruits work just like special guns, so they go offline. She is too terrified to leave the starry sky great forest on her own. He tells her to send her coordinates so he can drive over and meet her. Even though he is over 200 kilometers away, he treats the drive like a road trip. So far, he has only explored the Black Mountain mining area among the named zones. But this great forest is rumored to be vastly larger, richer, and far more dangerous. Nobody has ever reached its deepest depths. He hits the open plain and accelerates. Cruising at 100 kilometers an hour, his auto-targeting radar guns down targets. The loot easily covers his fuel costs. He remembers his one-time forge and pulls it out. Instantly, the massive alloy furnace expands, filling the front seats and nearly crushing him. He quickly shoves it back, switches on cruise control, and heads to the living area. After setting the forge down, he loads his blood of the moon weapon and a corpse nail. A deep red light glows during the 10-minute countdown, ending in a successful forge. Only 7%. Disappointed, he immediately starts another forge cycle. For the next hour, he drives and forges simultaneously, burning through his materials. 5 corpse nails add 7% each, while a puppet stone heart adds 10%. Curious about his strongest material, he loads up the giant terror pincers next. Watch closely, the red light suddenly flashes brilliant gold, resetting the timer. A loud chime announces a lucky critical hit, marking a legendary forging success. The blood of the moon gains 26%, bringing the total to 71. A massive shortcut that saved him 2 whole nails of forging work. Soon he will reach precious artifact grade, unlocking its own exclusive skill. Back at the steering wheel, his destination is still tens of kilometers away. Grass thickens, growing taller than a person. The armored RV mows through like a harvester. The towering green wall swallows the windshield, signaling a dangerous, special terrain zone. He turns to detour, but just as he swings the wheel, a sudden rustling erupts behind him. A huge red dot blooms on the radar. Instantly, the roof gun whips around and opens fire. The thunderous noise stirs the entire sea of grass. Suddenly, the radar floods with dense red dots. Most are too small to drop coins, but their sheer numbers make the entire perimeter glow bright red. A heavy droning of wings follows, with palm-sized locusts boiling up in a massive black swarm. He accelerates to 120 kilometers an hour, but the terrifying swarm still catches him. Mandibles grind against the plating. Fortunately, the armor holds. Any normal vehicle would be chewed apart, but his heavy roof gun finally drops the biggest threat. It is a juvenile corpse mantis at elite rank, leaving behind 2 gold and 1 mantis blade. The juvenile already counts as elite, making him dread what lies deeper inside this giant grass. Locusts peel off as the RV speeds up. Detouring around this grass sea costs him a full hour. Pressing on, he stops twice at Monsterdent's pockets, burning both of his remaining noise bombs. The hauls are smaller than expected, yielding 42 and 35 gold, but every coin counts. With auto-targeting picking off stragglers, he clears over 100 coins. By 11, he rolls up to his destination. He reaches the outskirts of the starry sky Great Forest. By now, the thick fog is mostly burned off. The view is clear. A magnificent, vast forest stretches all the way to the horizon. Giant roots tangle across the floor, while the massive canopy stacks high into the sky. Some look like giant umbrellas, while others pierce the clouds thousands of meters up. Starlight pours over the ancient woods. Here, the soft grass is quite short. It feels like a lush green carpet. Around the bases of massive trees, survivor groups are camped. Vehicles are parked side by side. People are busy gathering mushrooms and wild greens. They light cook fires and melt iron, looking like primitive settlers. Past the outer rim, the population thins out because dangerous wild beasts roam nearby. These creatures keep most people away. The meeting marker is a secluded, mountainous canyon. It has dense brush and small waterfalls cascading into a singing spring. He pings her that he has arrived, asking for her location, and she quickly chirps back. A brief silence follows before he clarifies that he is waiting right outside by the waterfall. She tells him to follow the hollow of a large tree, but a driver must take a different path. He detours around the mountain base and finds an overgrown, winding passage ahead of him. It is a maze of giant fallen rocks, requiring several turns before a path opens inward. However, his armored RV is far too large to fit. He decides to park and walk. The path opens into a wide, hidden grotto covered in lush grass and flowers. Vegetable patches sit in the clearing near a pond fed by a quiet waterfall. The rising mist casts a faint, beautiful rainbow under the glowing starlight and moonlight. It is a hidden paradise. Soon, he spots an unusual modified RV parked in a far corner. Beside the vehicle, under a small shelter, a young girl is busy chopping fresh vegetables. Ponytail, a cartoon t-shirt, and loose jeans rolled up to her knees. She stands barefoot on the grass. As she pings to ask if he has arrived, he calls out. She turns and waves cheerfully, then suddenly stiffens as she realizes something. She's still holding a large knife, so she quickly puts it down with an awkward cough. The online buyer and supplier finally meet offline. She looks incredibly nervous, her ears turning red. She shyly introduces herself as Jin Sonan, saying it is a pleasure to meet him. He tells her not to be so formal. She twirls her fingers, letting out a cute, nervous giggle. He gets exactly what he had imagined. She tells him she is making a vegetable salad. She is nothing presentable, begging him not to mind. After traveling on almost nothing, he gulps down the food. She brings a basket. Vegetables, mostly sunshine broccoli and aquatic eggplant since the fog killed the rest, but on top sits a translucent light blue fruit, and she beams, saying she cultivated several new seedlings today and promising a garden tour after dinner. He opens a trade, transferring 60 gold for the goods, vegetables and wages. Her eyes spark and she almost jumps, thanking him loud enough to startle birds. He tells her to keep it up for some massive rewards. She snaps to attention and swears she will be the boss's good ox and horse, working overtime so the boss can drive a Bentley. He asks where she learned this nonsense. She sticks her tongue out, saying it is a meme. He tells her to just eat since her boss is starving. They sit on stools with no ling cabbage today. He makes the missed treasure fruit the main dish with sunshine broccoli. His constitution jumps 10.5 at once, warmth spreading enough to make him sweat. Both buffs settle, his breathing fresher as fog drag fades. To test his healing, he nicks his finger with a dagger, watching white blood as the cut visibly scabs over. 10 seconds later, a faint itch builds. He rubs the scab, flakes off, leaving smooth skin. Talk about a seriously overpowered healing effect. As a long-term buff, looking at Jin Sonan's happy smile, he feels awkward. Because 60 gold suddenly feels like nothing. After the meal, Jin Sonan drags him on a garden tour, introducing her second, third, and fourth treasures like prized children. She solemnly presents her vehicle, Big Treasure, warning him not to let its plain look fool him, because it is a real ghost vehicle now. And small zombies cannot scratch it. He just thumbs up. Then she asks where his vehicle is. He says it is parked outside because it is too big. She insists the path is plenty wide, teasing him with cute dimples about his driving, but he tells her she will see. At the outer passage, he points at the colossal RV, 5 meters tall, 4 meters wide, 8 long, with seamless super armor gattling on the roof, ultra-high chassis, oversized tires, and asks how exactly he is supposed to thread that through. She stares for a long moment, then stammers if this is really his vehicle, since from a distance she thought it was a truck, and trucks are already top tier. She asks if it has a bed, bathroom, kitchen, and he confirms all of it, plus air conditioning and a refrigerator. She trails off in tears with envy, asking why the gap is this wide when everyone started equal. While she sleeps in her seat, he pats her shoulder and asks if she has a dream. She sniffles and says she does. He tells her if she works hard, it will not be long before she owns one of these and a big house, and they will fence off land by the sea, build a villa, and give her 10,000 acres of fertile land for whatever she wants to plant, and when she is tired, she will lie on a beach chair with iced watermelon juice and watch the sunset. She raises 3 fingers and swears she will not be lazy from this day forward. He tells her that is the spirit. Deep into the night, he heads back to the RV to rest, while Jin Sonan waters and fertilizes her patch. Before 6, he waits for dawn, breaking through the forest fog. Woken by heat because he left the air conditioning off, drenched as if pulled from water. He washes up, cracking open 2 colas. The weather panel flashes a massive warning. Cloudless skies, 55 degrees Celsius is on the way, driving land creatures into hiding. Plant activity climbs. That 55-degree forecast stops him dead in his tracks. It is worse than yesterday's thick fog. He walks into the canyon, spotting Jin Sun working her patch in a bamboo hat. She is completely drenched in sweat. Breakfast is ready, she cheerfully calls out. He eats quickly, pulling out the dwarf vine armor. He hands the gear over. Confused, she stares at the armor, asking what it is. This is his old armor, he explains, and now it is hers to keep her safe. She can sell it if she does not want it. Then, he drops the news he is leaving. Be careful out here, he warns, telling her to stop if the heat becomes too intense. As he walks away, she clutches the armor, watching his retreating figure with a heavy heart. Tears sting her eyes. Back inside his RV, he immediately cranks up the air conditioning. Next, he remembers the solar panels. Pressing a console button activates the motor on the roof. The folded panels rise from the armored roof, spreading wide to catch the sun. They absorb solar power while blocking heat. Instantly, the low power warning on his console disappears. Cool 16-degree air blasts out immediately. He collapses onto the sofa for a brief rest. Drying off his sweat in the cold, he prepares to return to the steering wheel. Collect more gold and hunt down chests for shards to finish upgrading his B-rank talent. The terrifying 7th day horde is only 2 days away, and he is still far from tier 3. The chat channel is pure misery. People are screaming about the morning heat. Temperatures are only climbing. They warn everyone not to skimp on air conditioner fuel. Even though a single unit of fuel has soared to 14 gold, someone suggests rushing oil fields. Others seek an alchemist talent to refine crude. Another player curses him for sharing that secret. The Black Mountain mining zone will be a graveyard of heatstroke today. Amidst the chaos, a desperate player wishes for a single, ice-cold can of cola. Another scoffs at him, laughing that there is no way refrigerators exist in this harsh world. He freezes, just like that. The perfect business opportunity walks right into his lap. Business requires almost zero starting capital. After all, he already has a working fridge and power. All he needs now is the inventory. He needs cola. On the trade market, prices are rising but still normal. 24 cans cost 3 gold coins. It is barely past 6 a.m. and prices will skyrocket later. He quickly buys 20 cases. He stacks them inside. His fridge only holds 90 liters, so he decides to upgrade it immediately. Spending 25 gold in materials, he upgrades it to level 2, expanding it to 215 liters. It is much more efficient now. He opens 10 cases, packing both cold compartments. This is temporary. Everyone knows cola tastes best between 5 and 8 degrees. Satisfied with his setup, he returns to the driver's seat and pushes deeper into the forest. The outer reaches of the starry sky forest are completely overgrown. No normal vehicle could pass here. He encounters 0 zombies, but plenty of aggressive beasts, after an hour of hard driving. Only 2 wooden chests and 20 gold are found. Low-tier chests do not interest him. Eventually, the path becomes entirely impassable. He checks his special cicada wing control panel. Ethereal form is ready again. The cooldown seems to reset at dawn. Rather than running a full 24-hour timer, which is an absolute lifesaver, he parks the RV in a sunny clearing to keep the solar panels charging. Armed with his Barrett, TRG-22, Desert Eagle, Combat Dagger, and Blood of the Moon. Leaving the heavy rocket launcher behind, it is just too bulky for stealth work anyway. With increased constitution, his stamina is better, and his movements are quiet and agile, almost like martial arts Lightfoot, letting him move quickly without alerting local beasts. He scales obstacles smoothly, pressing deeper until he spots a black iron chest resting on a high branch dozens of meters up. He buys climbing claws and shimmies up. The chest opens with a chime. 13 gold, 100 steel sheets, 1,000 universal bullets, a fine-grade handheld drill, and a lightweight weapon modification. He processes the haul right there. Bullets split into 10 lots of 100 at 2 gold each. The drill is in high demand, worth up to 25 gold, and since the crazy weather keeps flipping, the price will not climb, so he lists it and sells it instantly. The lightweight modification goes on Blood of the Moon. Instantly, the weight on his back drops. Leaning against the trunk, he takes a break, popping 2 cans of cold cola to beat the intense climbing heat. Looking up, he spots a reddish fruit at the tip of a higher branch. He activates Eagle Eye, a rare kiwi growing in the outer reaches. It is toxic if his constitution is under 30. Eating it raises constitution by 0.5 and spirit by 0.1, incredibly rare. With no daily limit, this is a massive shortcut. He climbs the trunk, but the kiwi sits on a thin tip that would snap. So he draws his Desert Eagle, locks on, and clips the branch. One clean shot, the kiwi tumbles. He scans the canopy to find a second and third, picking them off one by one. He gets 13. Climbing down, he traces where they fell, bagging them, until he is drenched and exhausted. By 10 in the morning, the forest hits nearly 48 degrees. It is an absolute steamer. He cannot survive for long. Energy drinks down. He heads back inside his motorhome. Stepping out of absolute hell, he grabs a bottle of frozen, smoking cold cola. He pops it open. The freezing chill rushes through him, pure summer heaven. Still cooling off under the air conditioning, he opens the trading chat channel. His new batch of drinks is ready to list. The exchange tags every food by temperature and status, so cold items stand out. He lists 100 cans at 5 degrees for 3 gold each. A luxury premium drink, he notes, accounting for high refrigeration costs. Then he drops the ad into the public chat. It is already an absolute war zone of heatstroke complaints. His listing detonates the community completely. The first wave brings pure disbelief and anger. People yell about robbery. Asking if blowing on warm cola counts as iced, they threaten him. If it is not actually cold, but seconds later the mood flips. They check the store and find real ice-cold cola. Panic buying begins. The inventory drops by 50 instantly, completely sold out in under 20 seconds. One cool-headed player points out he priced it like a Rolex of the new world, targeting only the ultra-rich, not people scraping together tiny fractions of coins. 300 gold lands in his pocket. His inbox explodes with endless messages. Guilds want cans, models offer favors, and students beg. Even top alliance leaders are asking for 20 bottles and offering him their friendship. Another announcement is posted. No offline orders. 5 degrees gone, 12 listing in 1 minute at 2 gold per can. Next batch in 4 hours. He pulls every cold can from storage. 139 remain after his drink. Keeping 9, he lists 130 at 2 coins, sold out instantly. Talk about crazy demand. 260 gold credited, faster than killing. Zombies scalpers resell at high prices, yet they move instantly. Demand is massive, silencing complaints and securing the Ice Cola brand. He will never raise the price. Scalpers build his reputation, and raising costs would ruin his name. This money was an invisible, upfront investment, since almost nobody with a Tier 2 vehicle chose the extreme heavy duty route. Practically nobody starting with a broken minivan would commit against such disadvantages, let alone then stacking Tier 2 power generation and refrigerators on top. He is likely the only person in the region sitting on all of this solid technical barriers. He starts lunch with Jinsun, prepping chopped vegetables, plating fresh kiwi fruits, and serving cooked meats. Mid-meal, he suddenly remembers he never sent her any cola. Checking his inbox, her 2-hour-old message says the sunlight is excellent and the harvest will be fantastic. He trades her a few bottles and several packed portions. She accepts joyfully, telling him to wait for a surprise. Her trade return holds 4 ice blue, tomato-shaped fruits beaded with cold water. His system panel calls them cooling fruit, a high-grade treat from the starry sky great forest. They can only grow by absorbing massive amounts of nutrients and water. Under intense sunlight, sweet and rich, they release a powerful cooling sensation within 1 hour to drop core and surface temperatures, perfect for heavy outdoor labor. In this scorching weather, with noon hitting 50 degrees outside, the timing is a true gift. He praises her until she goes to have lunch. He clears his plates and eats all 13 kiwis for dessert. Surprisingly, the panel adds a clean 6.5 points to his physique, smaller than yesterday's missed treasure, but still solid this time, especially with a mental boost. That 1 3/10 of a point sharpens his senses and brightens his energy. It feels comfortable and subtle, as if his very soul is growing. Once physique reaches a certain level, mental power may be the next path. He takes a quick nap, gathers gear, and steps into a wall of heat that clings to his skin. He eats a cooling fruit, and the oppressive weight immediately eases. Not ice, but mint radiating from within. He does not rush straight in, choosing instead a tree several hundred meters tall. Hooking his grappling line, he climbs up. When his head breaks the foliage, the wind sweeps the canopy below in rolling green waves, and ahead stretches an ancient forest, spread like a mysterious scroll. At the edge of his vision, among impossibly tall, hazy divine trees, looms the massive shadow of a creature too far to identify. Seriously, what is that thing? Compared to that beast, he is not even a mosquito. He sweeps the nearby forest and takes the most promising route, also the most dangerous. With the kiwi boost and cooling fruit effect, he moves noticeably faster, but danger climbs. Before traveling 2 kilometers, he faces brown bears, tigers, and gorillas, none docile, each twice the size of their blue star counterparts. They are worth half a gold coin each. Handguns are simply not enough, so he switches to his sniper rifle for long-range headshots, and when one with a thick skull manages to close in, he draws blood of the moon. His physique is over 44 times an ordinary human, easily enough to recreate the classic Wu Song tiger fight. This is Jingyang Ridgeback on Blue Star, where tigers grow to a monstrous 5 or 6 meters and over 2 tons. He only dares engage up close thanks to his cicada wing armor, absorbing every heavy impact, and his legendary sword, Blood of the Moon. Sharpened to level 2, the edge easily cleaves a massive beast head in One stroke, getting comfortable, he packs his sniper away, choosing blades to sharpen his close-range instincts. Less than 2 kilometers in, he meets his first elite monster. Resting with a cold cola, he suddenly spots the branches shifting. Giant hands of twisted vines lunge downward, slamming right where he stood a second ago. That blow would have folded him in 3. Earth tears up into walking vine feet. Murky eyes snap open at the top of the giant trunk, pupils glowing a deadly crimson. The system labels this elite beast as a Triant, an ancient race of the outskirts whose ancestors once guarded the mythical forest before being exiled. Capable of living 10,000 years, they often forget themselves in deep slumber. Usually peaceful, they will relentlessly pursue anyone who wakes them. This relentless beast holds a massive grudge. It lumbers forward again, but he rolls sideways. As the ground jolts, clumsy despite its size, he raises his sniper, activating Eagle Eye. 2 precise shots blind the beast, sending it flailing wildly. He keeps firing into the wooden giant until he spots a glowing red core on its chest, with vein-like threads radiating outward. The Barrett fires an armor-piercing round straight through the lump. The immense kinetic energy punches a massive hole, freezing the Triant before it topples into a cloud of dust. The system awards him 1 Triant kill, 2 gold coins and a Triant heart for crafting. Then, a system notification chimes. Daily intel has triggered, which is weird since he has been here for hours. Perhaps the gunfire drew them in. He confirms the alert, only to face a high-risk warning. The loud shots have alarmed a terrifying creature in the outskirts. Located 5 kilometers to his southeast, the beast is already charging directly toward him. The system warns him to flee, but notes that inside that high-risk zone, mysterious colorful light often flows, prompting him to find out if he has the guts. His eyes lock onto those words, since the monster is already heading his way. He can use it as a distraction and raid its empty lair. He tosses the Barrett into a bush, packs up his gear, keeping only blood of the moon. He spends 45 gold to purchase lightweight upgrades, pushing his weapon speed to its absolute cap. At level 5, all burden vanishes. He presses his ear to the dirt and feels the massive rhythmic thumping of something giant leaping incredibly close. He quickly cuts deep into the woods on a wide detour, weaving around the giant undergrowth that is far too dense for sprinting. Leaping high, he grabs a vine and swings from tree to tree like a monkey, an exhilarating, soaring pace. The rumbling grows deafening. They pass within a few hundred meters, and he stops, purposely activating Eagle Eye to catch a massive dark shadow flashing past with devastating force. With tremors covering his noise, he sprints ahead at full speed. 3 kilometers, then 2, but his face falls. The beast turned around. Talk about worst-case scenarios. Still, turning back empty-handed is out of the question. If a fight is inevitable, then so be it. He still has etherealization. Spotting a clear landmark, he follows the giant's trail of broken vines, shattered trees, and meter-high weeds trampled flat into muddy footprints. The demonic aura is incredibly heavy, scaring off even the local snakes and rats. The insects have fled. The trail ends at a canyon not large but ringed by shocking piles of bones and meter-tall mounds of dung. The pressure inside is incredibly thick. The beast is a giant ape, 30 meters tall, with jet-black fur like steel. Needles, gnarled muscles are laced with scars. 2 sharp lower fangs flank murderous gaze glowing with embers. Suddenly, the panel pops up on its own, an adult ape relic species. He's looking at a super monster descendant of the legendary war ape clan that scattered across the eternal continent as wanderers after their mythical ancient war. Their bloodline is diluted but still dominant. His first sight of anything above elite and a top-tier one, eternal continent, the panel says, and he instantly realizes that this might be the true name of these plains, a place with secrets he doesn't yet know. He cannot fight a super monster head-on. First, he has to find that colorful light. He climbs a nearby tree and activates Eagle Eye, the canyon unfolding in perfect detail. His gaze settles on a rainbow treasure chest lying quietly in a mountain stream. The panel labels it a special grade rainbow chest containing 3 rare treasures of which he may choose only one, warning that a wrong choice means a lifetime of regret. No wonder he never found a matching color in earlier chess sequences. Before the joy lands, he catches another presence. Wait, an almost human figure. Sitting absolutely still, an old ape is watching him with an incredibly calm gaze, and he gets the creepy sense it has been staring from the beginning, even at a kilometer. That eye contact crawls along his scalp. The panel marks it as in Ancient Ape King Relic species, a king-level monster that is currently severely injured. And critically ill with all rating fields blank. King level is higher than super, his back is drenched in cold sweat by the time he comes back to himself. The giant ape gathers fruits and dumps them in front of the old ape, gesturing for it to eat. Then it senses his prying gaze, it locks in, eyes drowning in killing intent as they swing back to pin his hidden figure in the distant tree. Do all these monsters have spider sense? He finally understands why Eagle Eye is only C- rank. Any high-level creature can easily sense it. The massive ape roars and charges. That pressure would buckle any normal human legs, but he drags in a deep breath and leaps from the tree, rushing straight into the canyon. Its speed is nothing. Like the Triant with a single leap, it is flying like a 100-ton bomb. No. Dodging this, time for etherealization, he thinks, as his body slides into the transparent void. The ape lands, crash, a hammer of hands smashes the earth, but the tiny human figure has completely vanished. He is controlling his body with his mind now. Flying straight for the chest, even at flight speed, he cannot cross the canyon in one. Etherealization. What worries him most is the old ape, a king-level creature not defined by size 321. His body reappears. He lands sprinting, simultaneously spending 10 gold to refresh the cooldown, and the system chimes that the refresh succeeded. Next refresh is 20 gold, still more than halfway from the chest, eyes glued to the old ape, ready to phase the instant it moves, but it only watches him calmly. Those ancient eyes barely rippling, partly relieved yet completely confused, so close and still no attack. Is it really that badly injured? No time to think. The giant ape has locked onto him again and is closing in harder, its room-wide palm swats down and he phases out, the ground exploding into dust as he shoots toward the chest. With 3 seconds left, he reaches it and grabs with both hands, and then the chest floats up and vanishes into thin air. He is only 12 meters from a true king-level monster, the closest he has ever been, and he notices that the natives here seem to know these chests exist, because a massive rainbow-glowing box disappearing right in front of the ancient ape king draws absolutely no reaction. Not now. Opening it is too risky. Escape is his only priority, but then his skill ends, leaving him under 50 meters from the rampaging beast, forcing another refresh. That is 40 gold coins down. The monster has already caught his rhythm. The instant he solidifies, it hurls a giant rock, so fast he has to spend another 40 coins to phase. This time he successfully clears the canyon, but the beast has terrifying intelligence, and it pursues him in the exact direction he fled. Giant lantern-sized eyes scan the area with pure rage. He weaves into the dense forest to build distance, but its sharp senses still track him, resuming the chase. Grimacing at the steep cost, he spends 80 gold to refresh and break in a new direction. Thank goodness for his deep gold reserves. After repeating this trick, the furious ape starts mindlessly smashing trees. He is calculating whether one more refresh will fully shake it, a heavy investment, when suddenly the old ape, back in the canyon, slowly opens its mouth and releases an almost inaudible syllable. Faint but fast, like a resonance frequency traveling straight into the giant beast. Instantly, the monster recovers a sliver of reason, breaks off the chase, and snorts. Turns back, his own etherealization runs out at that exact moment, and finding himself safe from pursuit, he lets out a heavy breath. This sprint and constant skill spamming has completely drained him. His legs feel weak, his head is throbbing. He downs an energy drink and special fruit until he can move, then heads back to retrieve his Barrett rifle from where the giant treant fell. By the time he gets there, he is completely lightheaded, wanting only his RV, etherealization, and eagle eye. Burned through stamina like crazy. If not for the special lingium cabbage, he would have collapsed. Eating another cooling fruit, he continues slowly. On his way back, he gets a pleasant surprise. A bronze chest sits in a tree hollow, covered in venomous spiders and creepy insects. His third chest overall. The first dropped armor core, the second offered gold, along with valuable shards. He silently prays for more shards, since he is just 1 B-level short. He clears out the bugs with his pistol and reaches inside. The chest yields 35 gold, 100 parts, 10 units of super lumber, 7 C-level talent shards, and 2 B-level talent shards. The shards are perfect, and those 7 C-level items put his second C-level talent right within his grasp. Super lumber is a premium top-tier crafting material refined from ordinary wood. The market is small, but it is worth 10 gold apiece. The trip paid for itself. He gets back to his RV around 4 In the afternoon, scrambles inside and collapses under the cold AC, completely wiped. After 10 minutes, he sits up to deal with the glowing rainbow chest sitting at his feet. He rubs his hands and lifts the lid. Bright light and colorful ribbons burst out, and 3 treasures float inside, each wrapped in colored light. The system prompts him to choose one. The first option is a legendary tier dragon-slaying sword at full durability. It features a passive Dragon's Grudge that loads each slash with soul-corroding damage from defeated dragons. It also has an active sword energy domain, creating a 50-meter damage zone for 20 seconds on a 30-minute cooldown. The system evaluation describes it as a blade that once cut down countless dragons on a battlefield of gods. Though its divinity is gone, it can still terrify mid-tier opponents. Though its divinity is gone, it still terrifies mid-tier opponents easily. Anything legendary or above cannot be modified. It is impressive, but he cannot use it. Wield an ancient divine sword now. Blood of the Moon is already overpowered for him and shares the same niche, so taking the sword means abandoning his rifle build. He sets it aside. The second item is the Dragon Imprisoning Marsh quest book, an S-rank dungeon with 20 tickets priced at 1,000 gold each. The evaluation warns of extremely high death risk, noting personal vehicles are banned. 20,000 gold just for the entry fees. His heart pounds in excitement, then sinks because absolutely no one can afford this right now. It would just collect dust like the cursed parchment. The third item is a mysterious, unknown egg. The description shrugs, asking if he wants to gamble, since the others are dragon themed. This might be a dragon egg. His eyes light up at the thought. What if he can get a dragon pet? He lifts the strange egg out. The chest dissolves into shattered light. He wonders how to hatch the thing. A microwave might make a very fragrant dish. He gives it a gentle shake and hears faint thumps. Life is already moving inside. As he goes to set it down, the egg shifts on its own. Placing it on the bed, he squats down. He prays it is not a snake. The shell cracks and a cute head pokes out. It blinks, scrambles on 4 unsteady legs, and totters straight toward him. A real newborn dragon. White fur like growths line its body. Its tail sways like it is underwater. 2 small round horns sit on its forehead, showing a pure bloodline. The system labels it a young, pure blood dragon. An ancient divine beast. It is currently super hungry and has no master. The description says almost all pure-blood dragons disappeared long ago. Rumor has it they fled into a rift world, leaving few survivors behind. Scattered across the eternal continent, the system offers him a choice to bond. He almost laughs at the release option and gently lifts the tiny silver dragon. Cool scales and soft fur brush against his palm as a deep energy stirs. This is what the system calls divinity. The creature nuzzles him with a soft cry, nibbling his finger. He quickly taps to establish the master-servant relationship. The bond locks. The young dragon is now his pet. According to the system, pets can earn gold by defeating enemies. Since it came from an egg, he decides to name the cute creature Danzy. He rubs its head, unconcerned about giving a legendary dragon such a common name. Buying some pure milk, he pours it in. The small dragon staggers to the rim and gulps it down, only to slip face first, making him burst out laughing. When he opens his inbox, it is completely flooded with messages. Countless survivors beg him to put cold cola on sale, as the extreme heat triggers heat strokes. Wealthy players offer him massive premiums, but he refuses to open that loophole. He wants to build a trusted, lasting brand. Instead, he posts a public notice. The items will go up soon. Instantly, the chat explodes with excited players. Everyone is readying their hands, desperately begging for a single can of soda. Some complain about greedy scalpers trying to resell the drinks for quick profits. Others praise Master G as a man of true integrity, thanking him deeply. They promise total loyalty for 10 cans. He lists 100 from cold storage. These clear out in an instant, bringing 300 gold. He lists the rest. The items sell for 2 gold, but only 168 gold lands. It should be 280. The system warns his cola deviates from market price. The daily total exceeded the 1,000 gold limit, triggering heavy penalties. 80% is cut from the excess and from future non-market sales. This restriction lasts until reset. He curses but accepts making 1,000 gold today. Sold out, he posts the sold out notice and quickly closes his chat. Danzai has climbed onto the sofa, gnawing his clothes. The basin is completely empty. 3 boxes are gone, but the status panel still reads hungry. Milk costs half a gold. This little glutton just drank 1.5 gold. he buys a whole case. He buys fresh pet meat, swaps to a larger basin, and dumps in 8 boxes. Adding 5 meat packs, he stirs it up and plops Danzai into paddle. On the sofa, he checks his talent fragments, 1 C and 1 B grade. Success, the C grade, gives him a passive elementary body technique. It massively boosts his movement speed, sensory perception, and reactions. By boosting his evasion and stealth, it becomes a truly elite talent. It is rated as one of the ultimate close combat talents out there. This skill rivals top martial artists on Blue Star, scaling with his physique. 2 system hints follow, explaining survivors can only hold 2 talents per tier. Extras dismantle into shards at 5-1, and talents can awaken further. Absolute clarity, it washes over him like an instinct without boosting raw strength. He simply gains a complete understanding and perfect control over his entire body. Only now does he realize how clumsy he was when relying on brute force alone. He taps the B grade, and a prompt reveals he is among the top 5 to fuse it. This triggers a 500% synthesis success, and deep blue light erupts. Just watch this, the system awards him formless hidden lightning. This special B-grade skill grants him a passive thunder affinity. With it, he draws real lightning from the sky to charge his energy. It also helps him sense thunder elemental resources and unlocks formless thunder. This skill lets him release pure thunder energy in 3 distinct forms. These are Thunder Flash, Thunder Curtain, and Thunder Fire Robe, starting at 0%. It can level up using special Thunder Spirit Stones. The system evaluates thunder as the most terrifyingly destructive element of all. To wield it is to wield death itself, and you know this changes everything. Electrified the moment it locks, he jerks back, bright light bursting from his eyes. An invisible thunder field unfolds, making his hair and collar float wildly. He exhales, staring at his hands. It is past 5 and dusk is closing in. Stepping outside, he raises his hand toward a stump, electricity crawling down his arm. Arcs of lightning converge into a ball of raw, destructive energy. Sparks claw scorched trails as he prepares to trigger his thunder flash. The energy ball snaps into a bright beam, lighting the entire forest like noon. It pierces the stump, shatters a boulder behind it, and sends the wood crashing down. Cold sweat, pale and shaking, he staggers backward, gasping for breath. That single attack drained way more stamina than he actually had to spare. Yet his eyes burn with excitement seeing how easily it tore everything apart. Best of all, the next 2 skills are still waiting to be unlocked. As a growable item, he regrets choosing the Fire Spirit Stone over Thunder. He reminds himself to boost his physical build. Everything except vehicles relies on it.